Girl, you done made me sit up now.
Speechless? Why you speechless?
I just say because it's like I'm like with a celebrity couple right now. Like,
Oh my God! Yeah.
Hey everybody, hey Tamika, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Oh, that is great. Thanks for joining for an episode. This is episode 8. It is good for you to be here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Tamika Sims. I'm from Joliet, Illinois. And I am on the show with my lovely cousin. I am the cousin of the host. So, hi world, how you guys doing?
Oh, cool. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we are going to get started in this. We're going to be going over and discussing a few things. We're going to give just maybe like a 1 minute for a few people to get tuned in while I do a few more sharing. And then we're going to get started.
Okay.
Yes. So share this, share it too. And I tag your name so it should show up on your page as well.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. And then we also going to share this too. Okay. So let's get started. The topic for today, we actually got a couple topics that we're gonna go in. We're gonna be talking about men and they can do it. So why can't we do it? And we're talking about having multiple partners or sleeping with multiple women. We're also going to talk about the value of the woman and what happens when she has multiple partners. And we're going to talk about the value of a woman when it comes to the relationship and the value and role of a man when it comes to the relationship. We're going to go over a wide variety of things when it comes to relationships, men and women.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Okay, cool. And so yes, we actually did brought up this topic. This was Mika's topic, so I'm sure Mika's going to have a lot of insight to share. I
Yes.
did take a few notes. And so let's get started with the let's get started. Which one of the topics that you brought up that or that you put in the message do you want to talk about first?
Okay, well, the topic that I really am interested in is as far as um, the value of a woman compared to the value of a man. Like, as far as, okay, like, say for instance, um, they say they want a good man. They say, okay, a good man is consist of a man that won't cheat and a man that work and pay the bills. It's only two values in a man that a person consider a good man, and that's those two. But when they look at the value, when they say the quality of a woman, they want a wholesome woman. They don't want a woman that been with multiple partners. They want a woman that's going to cook. They want a woman that's going to clean, take care of their children. They want a woman that's going to go half on the bills. They want a woman to do so much compared to the three little things that they require in a man.
And
I just want me a man that's gonna work and take care of the bills and don't cheat. I just want a man that's gonna work, take care of it. Is that all they look in the quality of a man compared to what the women's go through?
I definitely hear you when you saying those things. You know, those are common conversations amongst social media, amongst relationships, uh, people who's been together for a long time, people who just start dating, single. It's a very common topic. And they usually say men are more simple, but it's a women to be like, I just need this, but it'd be like a whole list of things. And so when we say that men are simple and could that could be, contribute to why our list and what we want from a man is kind of simple as well. But what I don't do you think that men are simple, like when it comes to the things they want? Because a lot of times you
I
will hear
don't.
that you
I
will
don't
hear
think
that
they
men.
simple.
You don't think so? So you
Mm-mm.
said a man want a woman who can cook.
They want a woman who could cook, keep their body up, because they love for a woman to look nice. Then they want for a woman to be, oh, I don't really want a woman that slept with this many or got this many baby daddies. Then they want to say they want a quality of a woman who will meet them halfway, or don't depend on them thoroughly, or they want a woman to do this, or it's always what they look at and what they want in a woman. But then when we want a man, all we really ask for is just love me. Don't cheat on me. Don't break my heart. And just, help around sometime. But you know how they be like, oh, I could go to work for eight. Say for instance, if I was a working woman, I go to work for 8 hours. They still want me to come home, look good, have sex with them, take the kids to the doctor, take the kids to go their doctor appointments, school appointments, register for school, go shopping, cook. And all they do is just go do 8 hours, pay a couple of bills, and go to bed. They don't worry
So
about
when
kids, nothing.
you talking about, okay, so the man you talking about, if there's different types of men, that has to be a specific man. Are you talking about, is that a man that's desired by many women?
Yeah, all they want to do is just pay the bills and just provide for them. And I don't understand. Is it not more that you want? And is the value that there's more that we value out of a man? What if we get a man that they get fat, they get beer bellies, they gain weight.
But
Also,
a lot of women do say they want a 6 foot, 6 figure, dark skinned man,
yeah,
right?
that's what they state sometimes. But most of the times, it's not really how they look. Most women don't want a man how they look. They always state, girl, long as he can pay these bills and he can take care of home, I don't care. Long if he do that, I'm good. That's what they normally state.
Really?
Yes.
Because
Mhm.
I see, usually there's a lot of men who do those things, but I don't think that we're attracted to them.
Man, it's a lot of them would learn to be attracted to it. They don't care. Women's will settle for an ugly man too. They'll look at a man and say, "Oh, girl, he ugly, but he take care of my bills and he take care of home." That's the first thing they state. So they bypass the looks, but a man won't. A man don't care if that woman got all the qualities in the world. If she don't have a nice shape, they are or they considered looks in their eyes. They don't find them attractive because of no matter what they got. A man, to me, sometimes seems they selfish.
So
You know,
let's break this down. So let's start with the attraction. You said women will deal with a man who's not so pleasing to the eye, but
Mhm.
men won't deal with a woman who is not pleasing to the eye.
They won't.
Okay, so let's see, how do we break this down? Well, we know that men are physical
Mhm.
creatures, right?
Yeah.
They're considering physical, or looking at physical, the physical physical physical. They're looking at the physical part first when it comes to a woman. That's the first thing they see. They have
Yes.
to be attractive first, then they're gonna go into, okay, well, let me see what else about her. Based off their attraction to her is going to determine whether they're going to go into even finding out more about her and seeing what her mindset and stuff
Yeah.
is like. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree totally. If a person talks to a person over the phone, they can have the best chemistry in the world. But the moment they see them, and if they overweighted or if they not attracted to them in certain type of way, they'll walk away.
And so with women, we're more of a emotional. So as long as you're taking care of our emotions and
Yeah,
make us feel good,
we
then
we'll be attracted to you.
okay, so then that breaks down that part right there. That's why men are not going to deal with certain things and have certain standards when it comes to the way that women look and carry themselves. Is because they're physical creatures. So they're going off the way you look physically first, where we are emotional. So that's why we'll tend to bypass some of the things for them or the way that they look, as long as they doing the other things.
Yeah, long as they taking care of home. We mostly want a man to just, how you said, love us, no matter how you look. We want that type of love that we looking for, regardless of what they look like. They could be fat, bald, ugly, white, black, purple, green. We don't care.
I
But
don't think
I
so,
believe it.
because
I
you
believe it.
know you know that most women want the same man, are attracted to the same man.
Well, they are attractive because they are looking at that. Say, for instance, if a man date a certain woman and they treat them good, a woman looking and thinking that they can get that same man and that same quality, but you can't, because a man attraction to a certain person is different. What he do for that one, he might not do for the next. So therefore, a woman only does that because they look at the things that they do for other women. But and so we get attracted to that. But it's not like, okay, when we looking at qualities in the man, it's still, it could be an ugly man. He could have 5, 6 women, and a woman would be attracted because of what he's doing for that other woman. But when he get with you, he's like, we're not guaranteed he's gonna do that for us.
So I think I have to disagree a little. I don't think that
Mm.
we are yes. Yes. Ask somebody make it for you. I don't think that we are, really paying attention to the men who are not meeting our standards or who doesn't look a certain way. I don't think so, because a lot of those men have a hard time getting women. Even if they got money, even if they could do certain things, they have a hard time getting women.
Yeah,
So
but women's want, but women's are the type of people who want what they can't have. They want what they see other people have. That's why men really are not really naturally just cheaters. Women's Other women's will throw themselves on something just because they want it. They want it. What
mhm.
they see from because everybody wants it. A woman always want what other women have because they can't have it. So that's why I don't think it's because of something different, but most women want something that they really can't have, and they want it badly because that's what the nature of it is.
Do you think that they can't have it because someone else has it, or do you think they can't have it because maybe they're not qualified to have it?
Well, I think it's both.
You think it's both?
It's both. I think it's both. Because they not qualified, and plus they can't have it. So they push themselves up on people. They push themselves on certain men's that's already in a relationship, that's already happy, that's already, so they most of the time they come and try to destroy what they want because they want it. They want that same happiness because they can't find it out here from other men's. Like,
So
so
if
they want it from that person.
Okay, okay. So if you could just think of any examples in mind, whether it's celebrities, whether it's people that you know, whether it's people that you see on your timeline, is this man that women want because they see that another woman has him and see what he does for her? Is he
Yeah,
Do you
like
consider him a high value man, or do you consider him a very attractive man?
Well, no, I don't see him as really attractive. Like, say, for instance, when you sit down and you watch TV shows, like you said, celebrity TV shows, half of those women are afraid to step outside the norm. I don't know what happened to the host line, so I'm gonna wait till she come back online.
Back online.
Okay, I said let's talk
Um,
when she comes back online. Yeah, but like, say, for instance, the the entertainment world. You can watch Love and Hip Hop. You can watch all these TV shows, and it's all these things that these women's that been around these men's that they all was friends. They all been around each other. They all watch how this man treated this woman and how this man treated that woman, but they all date them. You feel what I'm saying? Like when that one break up with somebody, like say if it's Safari dated like at least 5 to 6 people on Love and Hip Hop.
Mhm.
He was married to Amina. Then he started dating Erica. Then after he left Amina, he started dating someone else. It's like they all are from the same industry, and they all know this one man, and they all is interested in him because it's something that they want to find out. It's like a challenge.
Mhm.
I if they say he's such a dog and he wasn't good to her, I'm gonna see if I can tame him. I'm gonna see if I can put it up to the challenge. And because they looking at him, they see the things that he capable of. They see what he can do. So it's not like they going out finding something that they know nothing about. They always trying to date something that they either been around or knows.
Yes, and
So,
I
mm,
truly believe that that is because that we are really attracted to the same man. We all kind of want the same thing. There's not a lot of men that fit that category. So the few men that are in that category, all the women want that man. It says, um, I don't remember the numbers, but like I said, we all want the same man. So when that it says 90% of women procreate and 40% of men procreate. So women are procreating more, but with the same man
mm,
because everyone's interested or everyone is attracted to that same man. So
yeah,
I think that's just what it is because if that's the case, um, we would be like I said, a lot of the men who don't meet those standards are having a hard time with women. Men even have, you know, when it comes to sex and stuff, women control the access to sex. So that man who not really meeting up to those things, he ain't even really getting no sex like that or really getting any, play from women
mm,
because all the women are going for that man they consider high value or just attractive or usually do have a lot of things but not somebody that we really want to settle down with, if you know what I mean. Like a lot of times a lot of women that go for the bad man or the man who might not even be all those things that they want but they're attracted to him.
yeah.
So
And I
that
also think that it's the place of where we looking for men's at. Sometimes I think it's because where we go to look for a man at. We don't go look for high quality men's in high quality places. We look for them in the wrong places, and that's probably why it's so many that's attracted to that man because it's where they come from or where they are around. Or if we would say we want a good man, but we don't go to church to look for one, we'll go to the club. Oh, we want a good man and we want this, but we'll go somewhere where a lot of broke people is at. We not going and we not me. I think too also we lower our standards as being women's. Cause we allow ourselves to be emotionally attached to the wrong people who really not good for us because we're not looking in the right places to find a good man. You know,
and
so
so I definitely hear what you're saying. I think that my viewpoint on that is that the men are the hunters. We are the ones that, are being hunted. And so I think when we go out looking for a man, period, no matter where it's at, we already kind of doing things out of order. Because the man is supposed to come find us. We
yeah.
should be working on ourselves, making sure we been as feminine as possible, not waiting until the man come around, because if you're feminine, that's just something you are. You can't be like, oh well, because I got to do this, I got to do that, and I have to do this because I don't, a man is not around that, makes me less feminine. if you're feminine, you feminine. You might still have to take on those things, but that's still going to be a part of you and who you are. So I think that if we, as long as we're being a woman and operating in our role as a woman and um embracing our femininity, I think that we would attract a man that would, that's when the man will start coming to hunt for you.
Yeah, but
Um,
when they say that a man come to hunt for you, but we still in our mind state when we are getting hunted, we still in our mind state pick the wrong location to find a man at. Yeah, I might go to a bar and I might get dressed and and try to outdress the next because we say, hey, I'm looking, or we still actually be looking in the process of us getting picked because we come with the mind state of I'm going to go out so I can start mingling and start dating and start this. We still go out to look for that. So we go get dressed. We go and do this type of stuff. So regardless we still in our mind state is still going out in the public wishing and praying sometimes that we find our soulmate, even if but I still say it's where we go to find your soul. If you're not going to a healthy place to find a soulmate at, how can you think you're going to find a soulmate, period? I'm not looking for a soulmate in a bar. I don't want to look for a soulmate at a lounge or somewhere that is not soulmate material.
right.
No,
So if we not looking for a soulmate in those environments, do we think that a man is even going to be hunting for us in that environment? Or are we going to
no.
even want the man out of that environment? So then the
Don't
first
want
thing,
woman either out of those type of environments. A man not looking. A man goes out to a club for a date, a one night stand, or something. They looking for something totally different than a soulmate at a bar or at a club. But that's
so,
majority of where people interact with people at and start dating is at a club though, because most of them does that, and then they think once they get married they're gonna change to this different person that you from where you met and where you met them at. So if how can you expect differently if that's where you met him at?
right. So then we will agree that if we are trying to attract a mate or a partner, then we should change our environment.
Yes, totally. I believe so.
Okay. So change of environment. So where will we look, or where will we change our environment that we think
And
that we will find a
you
more
could go
quality?
you could go to church. You can go to they have Christian mingle dating places. You can go places as far as where you looking for someone that's that's wholesome, family oriented. You can go to you could be at a park, you can be at a picnic. You could be
Mhm.
somewhere just walking. That's where true love really comes from. You could be somewhere you just happen to say, oh, and then you meet someone different, but not at a bar, not in a
Mhm.
nightclub. I mean, and that's the majority. Like I could go to a friend house and I could go somewhere and have a casual outing, and that person probably have a friend because she met her husband, and her husband is nice. Like you have a good husband. So you have one. I could be a single person and say, hey, Dorcetta, do your husband, since he's so nice, do he have a good quality, wholesome friend that we can you can introduce me to, or we can go dating or bowling or something so I can get to know him. You know, not everybody searches for at the wrong places. You
I
know, that's what I
I
think.
can agree with that. I can agree with that. So I think we should go back to what you said originally. Why is it that men expect so much out of women, but we just, want the few things? What you said is to protect, I mean, to provide and to
Yeah,
not, and to protect our feelings by not stepping out on a relationship and doing things like that.
yeah,
However, I have heard many of times that the man is providing, leading properly. And not, okay, so that the man you listed with those qualities is more of a traditional man,
yes, yes.
right?
Hmm.
So then, he's expecting in return a traditional woman, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So if we are looking for a man to protect, provide, and to be the leader, then I think that we have to be willing to take on all those things that you named. Now, if he's expecting you to go
Yes,
half on the bills, then that's different. And then maybe that's not the man that's for you. If you
yes,
don't
yes,
want to go half on the bills and the man that you are with is expecting you to go half on the bills, it's like, so either way it goes. Either you're going to see potential in him, or you're going to see his morals and standards and certain qualities about him that you might say, okay, maybe, this is just for now. And, eventually we might be to this place where he's able to provide. So I could do 50-50 for now.
yeah.
Un-
Because
un-
say that a woman, most of the times, okay, like say for instance, if a person get with a woman and a woman have children, now most men, in order to become a perfect stepfather, or if you, even if you just date, you don't want them to just do everything for your child. So if you see that I'm taking care of my kids and we dating, wouldn't you want to offer to pay the bills? If I'm doing all of, if I'm paying majority of everything, I'm taking care of the kids, I'm doing this, you should say, hey, I would give her a break and I'll be a man and take care of the bills and let her take care of the household.
what if he can't?
If you can't, I never would. I mean, I would never not date him because I know love come in different shape, form, fashion. But I will help you enough to get on your feet so you can provide. Or I'm going to help you enough so you can get on your feet. Because as a woman, I would try to, understand where you're coming from. I'm not going to automatically just want you to do everything. But what I'm speaking on, like as far as when I state that we only think that men supposed to pay the bills. I don't think that that's all a man supposed to do. And the reason I stated that is because um sometime I may be sick and I'm gonna look forward to you to take over. Or sometimes you might be sick. So while you sick, the money that I have put up is gonna help out around the house for while you sick until you can get back to where you need to be.
Mhm.
So I think that it's things that they should let like a woman supposed to be out preparing for the worst. Anything can happen. Like my mom didn't have to work, but my dad worked all the life and he paid all the bills and he took care of the kids and he did all this. My mom put her money that she was making to the side, or she saved her energy and didn't drown herself and working and hurting her back at work and doing this and all these years, wearing herself down and wear and tear. She how you call it, when you put yourself to the side to preserve yourself. That's like, I'm gonna call it preserve. Like you preserve your
Mhm.
fruit in cans and stuff until tragedy happens, so you can have something to eat when it's come a storm. So you
Mhm.
women should be able to sit themselves to the side and preserve themselves until they man fall off or something tragedy happens. Like when my daddy caught cancer, my mama was able to get up and go work and take care of the whole house because she was able to rest. She was able to rest all these years because my dad took care of everything. So when he got sick, she took over and she became the provider because she had to, as a wife. So I just feel like, don't, if both of y'all overworking yourselves and doing this, if any one of y'all was to get sick, who would have the strength to provide?
Right, right. I think those are definitely unfortunate situations when things like that happen. And I think sometimes we tend to worry about things before they even, become an issue. But I do think that women and men that, because, I hear this a lot, especially me being a stay-at-home mom. Like, well, what happens if he leaves you? Well, what happens if, he gets sick and you got to take over? Well, like, I do think we have the strength and power that if we're in those situations that we're gonna figure things out. Like, things are gonna get taken care of.
Right.
And I
Because
just think,
you can that's the type of thing. That's what goes to say when you at home. Get get yourself like go to school, get degrees under your belt. So you be at home thinking of a master plan to be building. So if something was happening, that's why it says we are helpmates. We are women's that we are supposed to sit there and we supposed to pray for the family. We supposed to be helpmates. We supposed to be thinking of a master plan just in case something happened with your husband. Just in case if anything was happening to your husband, you can say, hey, babes, look, while you was working, I was at home. I was building a foundation for us. Just because this happened, look, I got it. I got it covered. I was at home, and you thought I probably was on my butt doing all this time. You probably thought I wasn't doing anything. I didn't grab a bachelor degree. I didn't grab this degree. I didn't got this. I didn't got my culinary art degree over line. I didn't did this. I didn't did that. And now y'all got it made. You can open up all type of companies. It's teamwork makes the dream work.
hey, mother, welcome to the stage. You're muted.
Hey, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for
Good.
joining in.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to I wasn't able to start from the beginning. But I just wanted to let you know that I did watch your Fire Talk from yesterday's uh show, and I wanted to commend you on your strength, your behavior, your demeanor, um, your positivity, sticking to what you believe in, and then understanding that everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And people look at things from a different perspective. And I also appreciate your open mind.
Oh, thank you, mother. Thank you for that. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for tuning in. Even though you couldn't, or even though you weren't here, you still always make sure you support. Thank you.
Yes, dear. Yeah. So, I didn't get a chance to listen from the beginning of this episode. Um, Give me 1 second. Sorry. So I'm just now checking in.
Okay, so we were just talking about real quick that why do we think that is that um well, Tamika feels that there's not a whole lot of things that we expect from men, but there's a lot of things that men expect from us as far as cooking, cleaning, helping with the bills, going to work, still coming home, taking care of things. But all we really want from a man is, for them to protect, provide, and to lead. Why is it that we just, want three things, but, they tend to want us to take
Numerous,
on a lot of things?
a lot.
Well, I don't know if that's something that everybody feels, but and if that's the case, then that could be something to do with statistics or how things have been before. Um, because it could be back in history, it could be those things that were done back in the day. But I do think that change is happening now, and I think that both people have to understand that it's a team effort.
Yeah. See, 'cause I believe in because I'm like a lot of people not religion. Like I was raised in religion, and so I can't speak for everybody as far as when it comes to religion wise. Um, I just think I don't know if we bear most of the world on our shoulders because of what Eve did in the Bible, but I feel like we bear more in life than men will leave us with kids and they'll walk out on for you to figure it out why they out here living freely and you raising kids by yourself, struggling by yourself, you going through everything under the sun by yourself as far as being a woman. And a man has everything freely. They can walk and go get in another relationship, go build a whole nother family. They could and you here raising your own children and you gotta go and work. You gotta go and struggle. You gotta everybody not fortunate to meet those qualifications. But then when you try to go find a man, they look at you, They put a strike on you because you got kids. They put a strike on you because you're not up the park because you done been ran down as far as your body wise. So now they looking at you because you don't have a big butt, a flat stomach, or appearance that they looking at. And you they looking at because oh she don't work or something that happened in her life. Now she don't work. But regardless if she got a house, she's still paying her bills and she still don't have a job. Then they'll look at it's just so many
But you
strikes on women's back for everything that they been through. We really struggling women's that's trying to survive. So
and
it's
I'm sorry. So just to say, just for me, so I know people, I know women who may have been in a relationship or a marriage and they may have had children, one child or multiple children with a man or a husband that didn't work out, but they not only do the man leave or whatever, they separate. And that woman is now able to meet someone else. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know if I look at it like the women are left behind and they're struggling and they got to raise these kids or not, because that's a blessing if a woman goes through all of that and still have the strength to do that, then that's a blessing for that woman.
yeah, but we
And
do. But like what I meant by that, we
One
look.
second. So before you continue, Mika, I just, while this is the first time we're having three people on here, I want to make sure that I set the tone from the very beginning, that we all make sure that we just being respectful when someone is speaking. If you
I'm sorry,
speaking,
yes
let her
ma'am.
have the floor, and
Yeah,
then if someone else speaking, let them have the floor, and then once they finish, go on, because it gets because we're not just talking to talking, we're trying to talk to come to an understanding. So
okay,
let's hear each other out, and then based what we have to, let's based off what everyone says, then let's communicate about that.
okay, okay.
Okay.
I hear that. So go ahead, Tamika, finish.
Oh no, I was just saying like I didn't mean like left behind in that type of way, but like uh we are left with picking up the pieces because mostly men's put a strike on your back when you have children. Most men don't want to date women with children because they don't want to deal with other people's kids or they don't want to come up and take up the responsibility for someone else's children. So it's like, but a man could leave and be free, a free agent, go and pick up another woman, just so simple. But we are left to get strikes on our back, to be judged, to be pointed at as, oh, she got kids. Oh, I don't want to date her because she got kids. They don't even know who you are. Everything is judged off of because of what we go through. That's what why we left with the kids. Why we can't walk out. Why we can't leave the man with the kids.
And so with that being said, um I don't I don't know if I look at it um like we're struggling or like we're left with the children or anything like that. And just because the man walks out doesn't mean that that woman is stuck. See, she's not stuck. I think well, for me, I say that the woman's not stuck. The same thing that the same opportunity that man is given with a fresh start, a new person, or anything like that, that woman is given that same opportunity. Now, if that woman choose not to move forward with another relationship, then that's that woman's choice not to move forward with that relationship. But men I've seen nowadays are not looking at a woman who has children as like a woman that is scorned or she got baggage or anything like that, because most of, especially and I'm only going on the men that I can speak of, especially men nowadays, they come from that household where that dad or that man may have left their mother and that mother raised them, and they want to make sure that they don't do it and they don't look at another woman like that. So they are open to being in a relationship with a woman who may have children because their mother was in that same situation.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, Mom. So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Mika. So let me just break this down real quick. So what you saying, Mom, is just because the man walks out, that doesn't leave the woman stuck. You know, you have a different perspective of it. She can go out and be free and do all the things that the man do. If she wants to pursue another relationship, she can pursue another relationship. What Tamika is saying is, well, now the man walked out. You know, the most likely eight, seven times out of 10, the children are going to stay with the woman. So he doesn't have to take on the responsibilities of having the children under his belt all the time. He also gets to just go freely date someone else because he's not really tied down to any responsibilities like that anymore because he's not actually in the house. He's on his own now. And now she's saying that women could move forward, but now there are certain things that men are marking off the list now. Okay, well now she got kids. Well, what Tamika's saying is now since I've been through a lot of stress because I was left in the situation, maybe some certain things has fell apart in my life. Now they're judging me for that. They're judging me for how many children I have, and they're judging women for a lot of things that she just saying, how can we be judged for all these things and the man just leave out freely? So I'm just breaking down what y'all saying. Now I'm gonna say what I have to say. I think that that's why it's very important from the very beginning that as a woman and as a man that you are making sure you keep your morals, your standards, and the things you believe in up top. A lot of times when we're freely having sex, um, casual sex, there's a lot of people now who just casually have sex just to hook up. Who's responsible for that? Well, who would y'all say is responsible for the hookup situations, men or women?
Women.
Both,
Why would you say both, mother?
because they both have to do it. They're both doing it.
Why would you say women, Mika?
I think it's women's because a man want to have sex anyway, but it's up to a woman if she wants to decide to have sex because it's her body.
That's exactly what it is. Women are responsible for the hookup culture because men want to have sex. That is no like, maybe they don't. No, they do. And they only can have sex with a woman who's going to give them access, unless they're doing something bad that you could get in trouble for. That I really can't say that word. So a woman has to give access to her body. A man could want sex all they want, but they can't get it unless a woman gives access to her body. So women are responsible for the hookup culture because, like I said, we're granting the access. We have the keys to give them. We have to give it to them. They can't just take it from us. So that's why it's very important from the very beginning that we're not just hooking up for fun. We making sure that when we lay down with someone that meet our standards. We know that has morals, that we know that while things can change, but typically if someone has just you could see the core of someone. So, for example, I strongly believe that if me and Chris did not work out, he would just leave me with the kids. I strongly believe in my heart that he will still help take care of the children. He will still make sure that I'm taken care of because that's just who he is and his core at heart. And me and my core at heart, if something went wrong or if something happened or anything, I would naturally step in and do whatever it is. So I think that when you're dating someone or having a relationship with someone or sleeping with someone, we have to put that first because the effective things don't just happen for no reason. When you're trying to figure out why things are happening the way they are, you have to get down to the root of why it happened. And so we can't just be hooking up for fun and having sex for fun or just ignoring a lot of red flags. Oh, well, he cute. Oh, well, he got money. Oh, well, this. So I'm going to sleep with him because now you have the chances of you're bringing life into this world now. And so when he walk out and leave you with them children, I'm not saying that it was set up that way. I'm just saying, no, that is why it's very important to make sure when you're laying down with someone, you're not just laying down for fun or for pleasure, but it really matters that person and who they are. So I think that's some things that we definitely have to change, especially if we don't want to be left in bad situations. Now, let's say it doesn't happen, we are left in a bad situation. Well, that's why men are gonna push strikes on you, just like we're gonna push strikes on men. A lot of women, you will hear about the evil stepmom before you hear about the evil stepdad. A lot of women don't want to take on a man's other children. They don't want to because they have to deal with the other woman. Usually, a man coming into a situation, the children are with the woman. So it's not like it's a whole lot of times you got to go through the dad to get to the children. But when it's the other way around, you kind of got to deal with the other woman because she most likely has his children. And so I truly believe, I have to look into it, but I think the statistic shows that a man would be willing to step in and take care of the stepkids before the woman is willing to step in and take care of the stepkids. So while we are getting marked for things like that, that's why it's still important to always keep yourself first and the things that you have to work on so you won't get these tallies off. But if men are tallying things off, they're tallying things off just like we do. We have things that we don't want, you know, men, we don't want in men, but that's just, either we gonna choose to be with them or we gonna choose not. A lot of times men have standards and they stand on them because, especially if it's a man that every woman wants, he can get whatever woman he wants. So if you don't meet the list, then he just gonna go on to the next. Where a lot of times women, we have to tend to make sure that since the man is hunting us, we still have to keep up with those other things. Otherwise, you're going to have situations, that just happens like this, and it's sad, but that's why every decision that you make matters. If there are no little decisions, a lot of times women are saying, I want to have my fun first. I'm in college. I want to have a career. I want to date. I want to, experience who I like and stuff. But the meantime, you're also, when you're casually having sex with your parent bonds, that's changing your psychology. The nature is changing things about you, and you are going to have a harder time having access to men. So I think that I do think that sex plays a huge part, and we have to be careful because this leads to children, this leads to families. And if you having sex and having children, creating families with someone who is not even meeting the standards, then you're going to run into situations that could possibly end like this.
Yeah, like okay, say for instance, okay, my first child I was 14. I was 15 when I had her. I vowed to never make a mistake again. So I waited till I got older. I got married. I had two children. I had my two children. My husband kept cheating on me, blah, 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 so on. So we ended up getting a divorce. I had my other two children for a long time, and then I started dating someone else. When I started dating the other person, I ended up dating him for a long time. I had two kids with him. Same thing happened to me again. Started cheating. He, they cheat on me. That so I end up I don't want to settle. I don't want to stay with someone who's cheating on me. So I end up leaving the relationship because I value myself and I care about myself. So I let the relationship go. So now I'm stuck
You're
with,
not stuck.
okay, well, what I mean by that is now I have my children. I'm raising them by myself. I'm doing the best that I can with them. You know, they out of control sometimes. I have out of control children, smart mouth children, disrespectful children, and children that mess up all day and barely want to do anything around the house. So I fuss with them all day. I'm yelling at them. A man don't want to deal with that. So that's what I mean by that, because my other children father, he's deceased, and the other one is just now starting to step up to the plate to help me out a little bit as far as giving me breaks. So I can't go out and mingle to meet anyone because I'm 24/7 have my kids. Um, when I do date and I get in a relationship, they look at how my kids at. And oh, I can't get no, and then they run everyone I date away. So that's why I said it seemed like for some reason we are stuck in a situation when you have children. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what I'm stating is men still look at all the way your kids act, the way that your children they running me crazy too, and I ain't finna stay around for this, it's like I'm never gonna move forward. I've been married again. I had a whole husband. My kids was out of control. He left. I was back divorced, back single, and still trying to raise my kids the best way I can and try to treat. I try to teach them to value life. I try to teach them to not be bad. But as a mother, I have boys. I have a lot of boys. You know, and they yearning for their father, but he's deceased, to learn and to have a relationship. Boys stubborn. They don't want to be friends with men
Right.
that they mother, so they don't want to be friendly with them. The girl, my daughter, if I date someone, she's hey, she, she friendly as can be. But
Mhm.
when you have boys, it's different. It's difficult, and it's like you're never gonna find your peace when you have children, and that's all I'm. It's kind of hard if it's not with a person that you already became your soulmate.
I
So
definitely
it's
hear you. I, I definitely hear you. And just from the outside looking in and what you're telling me, I think that, and this is just my opinion, or if I could say anything, this is just what I would say is that, so before moving on dating, or, because I know you probably got in, set in your mind that you want a husband and you also want a father figure for your children. But in the meantime, you can't really get that because it seems like things are not in order at home, and you're saying that that's running the men away. And so I think that that's why a lot of times we might move on to situations a little bit quicker than we need to, when we kind of gotta, healing just don't mean healing ourselves. Healing means getting your household in order as well. So maybe while you don't have a husband or man around, for your children to be a father figure, maybe you could look into some mentoring programs, you know uh to where they can at least get that for now, and work on your children, work on the household, work on whatever it is that you need to work on yourself. You said that, it could be stress, you could be depressed, maybe you're not taking care of yourself. Work on all of those things first, so then when the man if a man does come along, then he, can point this out, point this out, point this out. But um, that is why men, because you said that, why don't men want to date women with multiple children? Well, I think you kind of just answered that. They gotta worry about a children that's not theirs, and it kind of becomes the liability because they have to be the protector. They have to be the provider. So if the children are running around rampant and they gotta be the protector, and then the children not being respectful towards them, they're not listening. They don't really want to take on that, for the expensive. I don't know. They might, move on. Tater Tater says the Boys and Girls Club is very helpful. I do think that that is very helpful for young men, young boys, and girls to go to if you're looking for mentorship and things like that. I'm not sure if our Boys and Girls Club is still active. But I do think that maybe, get some mentorship for the boys, because even without a husband, you still want your children, you know, to be, you want them to do the best they can, and you want that to improve. And so
Mm,
without the husband, without a man or without a relationship, I do think that maybe get that taken care of first. And then if try to change your perception. I know that I had to do that. Before it was like, what a lot of people think when it comes to being a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, man, I got all clean, all this stuff. I gotta cook. My children they're homeschooled. So it's not like they go to school. I could spend them 8 hours cleaning, and they're here, so they're here and they're constantly, things in the house is getting disorganized, messed up. I got to keep cleaning up. And I used to feel like that, but now I think that even though sometimes I may get a little overwhelmed, I say that you just got to be more organized. Be happy that your children can run around, because some children can't. Some children are handicapped, some children can't walk. So I just try to change my perspective a little, like, and then maybe, okay, Chris leaves and I have all these children now. At least I have these children. It's my team. I might not have, relationship or a man right now, but I got my team right here. If you never know, it's truly amazing how your perspective and how you perceive things can really change the outcome. So start by even saying, because children can understand. I wouldn't even, make sure you're not even saying around them that they're bad, they're disrespectful, because that is going into their subconscious, and that's just what they're going to play out.
mm,
Instead, even if it's not even true right now, you guys are doing good. Y'all gonna do good. We gonna do better. Let's do this. Let's get organized. Praise for every little thing they do, even if they following behind it with something they shouldn't do. Make sure you rewarding them or letting them know or showing gratitude for when they are doing good, because when we hear things and how things play a part in our mind, truly can make a difference. So if you feel like they are a burden, which a lot of moms do, because it's a lot, children, it's a lot to take care of children. So if we just try to change our perspective, and I do think that being organized, like, if stuff isn't organized, it's hard. Like, if I go to do hair, my comb is not where it's supposed to be. My stuff isn't where it's supposed to be. Some stuff is in the bathroom up here. Some stuff, it's just going to be stressful. But if I was more organized and I had a station for everything, everything has a place and I keep it in there, I'm not going to be stressed out about doing some hair tomorrow, because everything is set up and I know where everything is. Otherwise, I probably will get stressed out if I got to go do all of this first, do this. So I do think organization plays a huge part. And I do want to, commend you for being transparent with your situation. And I do, wish you the best with that. Uh, but however, it's your situation now.
yeah.
There is, so right now, all you could really do is make the best of it and manifest the situation that you want. Speak positive. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to attract this.
Okay. Okay.
And can I say something right quick? I
Yeah.
did try to send a text, so I don't know if the text came across, but I do see that Tater put Boys and Girls Club is very helpful. I would agree with that. Um, and then also, um, Tamika, like I feel the same way Dorcetta feels about the perspective. Look at things, trying to look at things from a more positive perspective and change some of your wording, because the words that you say out of your mouth, you hear those words yourself, and then your children will hear those words as well. And always, always, always know that what you see today is not how it's going to always be.
Okay.
Okay, you
Yeah.
are a child of God. Your children are children of God, and through Him all things are possible. So pray, talk to Him the same way you're talking to us right now. Talk to God the same way, and ask Him for guidance and to show and to put your children on the right path. And it starts with you. And it may be challenging right now, and you may not see a way. Just don't give up and try to look at things from a different perspective and take it day by day.
Hmm.
And just like we said about the men, um, getting a chance to walk away, and some men don't walk away and everything. But see, these are men that you're gonna these young children that you have now are gonna be the men of our future. So
Yeah.
that's why we have to build them up, and that's why we have to start speaking more positive words around them so they can hear those things and they can hear those words. And that's going to make them feel better about themselves when they hear those positive words come from their mom.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Like I said, thanks Mika for being transparent about your situation, and I agree with everything that Mom just said. Um, and this is the situation for more than just you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is happening a lot. And like Mom said, our children is the next generation. They're the next nation. So we need to make sure that even, while we're trying to fix things and figure things out, even if we might not see the difference right away, it can have an effect on our children and can change their situations. So we don't want it to, like Mom said, speak positive to them so they can make sure when they, become the man of their house, that, they're just not running into the same situations. If you get stressed out, go into another room, scream in a pillow, or go for a walk. It gets stressful. Don't be hard on yourself. I totally
Amen.
agree. I
Yeah.
Amen,
totally
Tater
agree.
Tater.
Not to be hard on yourself. I definitely go in the bathroom and I woosah for a second. Sometimes, like, really, truly, like, cause
Yeah.
if I acted too fast, I probably would get myself stressed out too. So I definitely agree with you, Tater Tater. Thanks. Diamond Love says hi everyone. Hi Diamond Love. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Yeah. And it gets overbearing, especially when you already battling different things in your life, health situations. Right now I'm battling because I in 2016, you remember I got hit by a car. Then so as the time went by, I have irregular ministrations. Then they want to, put a I what's those them things is a IUD.
IUD.
Put an IUD in me. It blew me up. Then now I have obesity problems. Now I have to have the stuff is starting to wear and tear on my body, and I have a lot of health issues. So, it's kind of hard to look out to try to date when you're worried about your children and you can't work and you're going through health issues and and when as far as dating, sometimes you sit down and when you're going through so much, you think like, well, God, I hear you, but am I gonna ever, find love? Am I ever gonna be loved? Am I ever gonna get love I see everybody else have? So you start questioning not only yourself, but you start questioning things around you. You start questioning, what am I doing wrong? And you might not be doing nothing wrong at all. It's just is this what life is given to me? This is what dealt for me. You know,
And can I
so
just say something? I'm so sorry, but the first thing I want to tell you is, and I don't even know you, but just listening to your testimony and listening to your story, you are what you call a witness, and you're going to be able to witness God's work in your life, because these are challenges that you see today. You're not going to see these challenges forever. Change is already happening. Change is already happening. So be proud of yourself that out of everything that you've been through, you, not even the love of a man, but you have the love of God, your creator, because he still blessed you to wake up today. He still blessed you to wake up today. Out of everything you've been through, he still has his loving arms around you. He loves you unconditionally, and there's no other love greater than that.
Yeah.
And by him being for you, that's more than the world being against you. And oh, he is going to surprise you. He is going to surprise you. He is going to surprise you. He is going to fill your heart and your mouth with so much joy and so much happiness and so much peace and tranquility. You're going to be like, God, for me. He's going to be like, yes, Tamika, specifically for you. I'm going to show you because you're doing the right thing. You're being your best. You're being strong. You're not giving up. You're not being bitter. And this is what I have for you. All you got to do is stay strong, have faith in him, and know that through him all things are possible. And every day he bless you to wake up, thank him for that day and do the very best you can for that day and keep him. Talk to him. Just like you talking to us, talk to him because if anybody could change it, it's going to be him. He created all of us, so there's nothing he can't do. There's nothing too strong for him, nothing greater than him or anything. So you give him all of your cares, all of your fears, all of your concerns, and you start declaring his favor over you and your children and your health and your family and your home. And then once you do that, once you talk to him, you're asking for it. Now you got to start believing that he heard your prayers and you have to allow him to do it in his way and his timing. And you just be patient and watch the glory and mercy he show you. You're definitely a witness. You're definitely a witness.
I agree with what you said, Mama, and I'm gonna add to it. After you talk to him, after you know that he's going to bless you and fix your situation. I know a lot of times, you'll hear, or I hear like my mama say, put it in God's hands. And that's what you do, but you also make sure that you putting in the work as well. Sometimes
Mhm.
I think that we try to give it all to God and just think that we could just sit and wait for it to happen. Make sure you putting in the work. You
Yes.
understand that you have health issues. That's going to start with your diet. Make sure you start incorporating those things now because your diet is going to play a part in your health, and that's something that you can have a better control over, and you want to you don't want those things to trickle down to your children, um to have health issues as well. So start with fixing that for yourself, and then you will be able to make sure the whole house is healthy. And so because you would not want to worry about your health problems, and then health problems is happening with your children and stuff too. And usually a lot of times the health issues that we're dealing with, you get them from your parents, because not because it's hereditary, but because you guys were all eating the same thing.
Yeah.
Our diets are all the same. And so I'm just saying that to say, you know, take care of, put your health first, because you can't do anything for your children. You can't do
Yes.
anything for your household if you are not healthy.
Yeah.
So just definitely make sure you take care of that first. And I do, Tater says, don't blame yourself for someone else's actions. No one deserves to be cheated on and treated disrespectfully. Your day will come and your kids will respect you. And I
Amen.
agree.
Tater, tater.
Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you, guys.
Yes, yes, yes. And so, yes, that was, great to speak into that topic. We went into a little bit of your situation. And so, I know, we went into one of the topics that you said you wanted to talk about was, why do men, tend to not want to date women with children? And I don't think this is just some men here and there. There's a lot of men, but do you agree that there's a lot of women who don't want to date men with children, with men date men with children as well?
Yeah, I have dated men with kids, and I have took on the role of being there as being a supporter of my boyfriend's children. And well, I was married, and his children. I have been married twice, and the first husband had a child, and if I did things with my daughter, I made sure I included his. Like I can't lay with I can't lay with a man who's not going to take care of their child, because if you don't love your own creation, you definitely can't love me. So I look at things like that. So if you have a kid, and it's in the way, and if you treat your child bad, I don't date a man that treat their child bad, because I just can't see it. But
Mhm.
I will be a good. I always been a good stepmother to any one of my stepchildren. If I do for my children, I do for theirs. If I buy my
Mhm.
kids shoes and he have a child, we gonna go buy theirs too.
That's
Mhm.
good. That's a
I
blessing. Stay like
definitely
that.
yes. And so I think what I just want to say is that it's okay for everyone to have standards, you know. If they have certain standards and they don't want to, you know, take on certain things, just like, you know, maybe the next man that you date you don't want them to have children, you know, you might have a hard time finding that because they're probably going to expect the same from you. But I'm just saying, if it is that, then it's okay. Then you have to, we have to find someone that align with the things. You know, a lot of times I think we go into situations and then just hope that the best work out or maybe it'll change. But I think that we need to start taking action from the very beginning. So if it's not lining up from the very beginning, then I don't even think we should go into the situation trying to even change it. Like you said, if he's not taking care of his other children, I don't think we should be like, okay, well, maybe if we date, then he'll take care of my children. Maybe he'll start taking care of it. No, that means that we just need to not even, because those are red flags that we ignore, and then when we get into situations, then we're like wondering why did this happen, but because we ignored the red flags before.
Yes, yes,
And can I just
you're
say
right.
something, Lou? But
Yeah.
let's just say, for example, that he hasn't seen that being modeled before, and now he gets a chance to see it being modeled through you or through somebody else, whereas now he understands that he has a child and that this child needs him to be a role model and be involved in their life. Maybe they haven't seen that before, but through looking at somebody else handling it, especially a woman doing it, maybe that'll help him to do it.
Yeah, yeah, you're
That's
right.
definitely a different perspective, and I agree with you, mother. 'Cause sometimes they, you know, people don't know what it looks like, or you know, mm, so they, you know, maybe do need to have some guidance from someone else, or just to see it happening in a different way, to have a different perspective, to make them, you know, take different actions or do different things to get or take on different actions so they can do what it is they need to do for their child. I
Yeah,
do agree with that.
that's just like if a person has a relationship with somebody or a man, like if they like women's are mostly forgiven, but a man is not. Like if a woman go out and have just say this is an accident, cheated, had a baby on her significant other, it'll be the end of the world. They're gonna leave, talk to you. But if they go out and have a child on you, they want you to accept it, forgive them, raise the child with them, and want you to just, hey, sweep it under the rug. But I just say that's why I said there goes to show again that men's wants more from a woman than we give. I mean, than they give us. Like they not forgiving. They not towards us. We forgive over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over till we just can't forgive no more.
But
And
But
then that's
so
something that we have to
I
look at. We have to
go
look
ahead.
at something within ourselves to see why we're doing that. And I do agree to a point that men are not as forgiving as we are, because a man has a hard time to know that if his woman did have an affair or something, that is, I've seen it where men have a real hard time with that. However, that's up to a woman, that if the same thing happens to her and that man does that to her, it's the same way that he may have a hard time with it, she has a hard time with it as well. But her heart is so, let me rephrase that. Women can look at things differently. Everybody can look at things differently. Why men look at things a certain way, I'm not for sure. But I do know that women do tend to forgive more quicker and easier than men do, especially in that type of situation. But that's something to make us look at ourselves on why we are willing to accept that and to
That
do
is
that, to
definitely
forgive
true.
that.
That is very true, mother. And I'm not, this is just how I feel, that men aren't easily forgiving, or are not quick to forgive or deal with stuff like that, because like I said, men do men stand on their standards more than women do. So
Mhm.
when they don't want something, logically, since they're logical, or since they think with logic, this make me feel like this now, and I don't want to feel like this again, so I'm not putting up with this anymore. That's just like that's logic, like that's what it is. And then
Yes.
also, when a woman goes out and have an affair, or even so as having a baby, women don't have sex, just to have sex. You gotta be emotionally connected to that man, or like have some type of emotions tied into it. So if you had a whole baby with another, like, that is so hard for a man to get over, because he was making you feel a way that I wasn't. You was emotionally connected to that man. Where a woman can go out and sleep with a man could go out and sleep with a woman, have no feelings for her at all. They just wanted to have sex. That's not
Mhm.
gonna make them love you any less. Sometimes their actions with you might not have even changed. Wasn't missing out on nothing. You didn't lose anything. You probably didn't even know what happened. But they, if they have a baby, since we are more forgiving because of our emotions and things like that. But since they work on logic, they're not. They don't want to feel like that again. So they're not going to go through it again. And I think that's what we need to do as well. I
We
do
do need
think
to
that,
do that as well.
yes. So they're setting an example for us, really. And that's why men are the leaders, because that is how we should be treating things. We shouldn't, if because when things happen later on, if things happen, you're gonna be like, well, you had a baby, you did this, you did that, but we forgave them and we moved on with the situation. So it's not really fair to keep, bringing it up, where they like, I'm gonna keep thinking about this. So no, and it made me feel this way. No, I'm not about to deal with that. Tater
And
Tater
I
says,
wouldn't
I
blame
think
them.
it depends on the relationship between the man and their mother. Some cross boundaries. I personally wouldn't be against, but that's what I've seen from viewing others. I also agree. How can you date a man that's not an active father? Okay, so she's agreeing. I think she said, you can judge, the situation with a man off of how he treats his mother. And I think that that can go both ways. Sometimes a man might not have a great relationship with their mother, so they make sure it's different in their situation. Or because they didn't have a great relationship with their mother, they have a, hard time with how they treat women. Or if they didn't, they could be like, well, I make sure my woman is not treated like that. Well, I'm gonna make sure I treat her like that, because he didn't get to do it with his mother. So either way it go, no, the baby mother. Okay, she said no, the baby mother. So she's saying she think it depends on the relationship with the baby's mother, because some of them cross boundaries. Okay, my bad, my apologies. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and agreed. She wouldn't date an active father. Man can't ever handle the same pain they put on a woman.
At all.
Absolutely agree.
At all.
Men, and men don't have. Okay, so this is just a different perspective, and you guys know I tend to speak from the man perspective a lot, because I understand men don't have the emotional support like we do. So if a man, say your husband cheated on you, you could have called your cousins, your mom, your grandma, your friends, your sister, and they could have been like, "Oh, well, you know what? F him. He did this, he did that. You can find somebody better." Or it's okay. Or if they just a shoulder to lean on, they not saying nothing. Or if they giving you good advice, where men ain't running to other men like, she did this to me. She did that to me. They don't have nobody to talk to. That would be almost embarrassing if they're not gonna go lean on another man and talk to them about that. So they don't have the emotional support. So without the emotional support and with their logic, they can't. They're not gonna handle the same pain that they put on a woman because they're not built to do that. They don't have the emotional support. They're not emotional and they're logical.
But
So I can't. I don't like this feeling. So I'm going to not even deal with this.
wonder if they do have the moral support. Like most men don't run to other men's, but they run to their mother, they run to their sisters, they run to those type of they run to their female family members and talk to them all the time about what.
Really?
Yeah, I got a lot. We got a lot
Yeah.
of boys in our family, and a lot of people that would call and ask you, "Hey, I'm going through this situation," especially if they got a close cousin that is a girl. I'm going through this
That
situation with
is true.
this lady, and she's cheating on me, and what I'm gonna do, Cuddy? What am I supposed to do, or what I'm gonna do, sis? Or mom, what's going on? My lady cheating on me, and I want to know what am I gonna do? And they have the same moral support as we do, and plus more because we don't feel comfortable with telling another man our business, really. We don't want to go lean on our boy cousins and nobody tell them what we going on. We could have sex problems. We could have anything. But a man feel comfortable talking to anybody. We don't. We the one that's really personal, and I don't feel comfortable talking to my cousin about my sexual life because not a boy, but a male would sit down and talk. We got plenty of cousins be like, man, I get her and do this to her and da 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 da, and they'll just talk it on out, just blah 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 blah. Blah. So a man they do have more support. They just don't care. They just don't
And
because my mom, like say for instance, of example, my mom and my dad was together for a long time. They were married all my life, but out the blue, a little girl came in the picture, and it's supposed to be my dad. My mom accepted it as a wife. She accepted it. She ended up, okay, I'm gonna get my husband. I'm not gonna walk away. I'm gonna be strong. Just work it out. That's what God said to do. I'm gonna be a good supportive wife. My mom decided one day she wanted to cheat on my dad, and he lost his marbles. He was jumping on top of cars. He was crying. He was flipping out, all in front of all the family, everybody, just like, oh God, look at my dad. And then I was emotional, like, oh, I'm going with my dad. And it was just like, okay, I'm like, he's having a fit versus what she did. A man just they don't like to feel like they lost the respect of a person because they feel like they woman disrespected them. Then oh,
Yeah.
she disrespected me. She went and slept with another man. I'm gonna kill myself at the end of the world.
And
Versus
he loses a little bit of his manhood, a little bit
yeah,
with
they
with
cry.
all of those feelings. And once a man loses his manhood, he has a hard time getting it back. That's why I said, men, if once they feel like that, they're not going to deal with it again because they know that how it makes them feel.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I said versus a woman who would sit up there and take everything. We would take
But
it
that's
until
not good.
it's not good, but I don't know why we're like that. It's hard for us because once we get emotionally attached, once we do give our body to them, we feel like we become one with them. We become emotionally attached, and we're afraid to walk away. We're afraid to love someone else, to go out and go try to find someone else because this is who I want. This is who I really love. I want to be with them, and I love them. In our mind, we really truly love this person. So
I
if
definitely.
if they walk out and go cheat, we be historical, but we still love them.
That, and you
Well,
know, and I definitely agree with you what you said, but that takes me into a topic that when I was reading your topics, I'm like I wanted to talk about that because and so man, I didn't even look it up, but monogamy is something that, you know, was brought on by America. You know how they'll tell you back in the traditional days, you will have the granddaddy or the dad who was stepping out and the mom didn't do nothing but stay there and dealt with it
Yeah.
and just swept it under the rug like nothing happened. That wasn't just situational. That happened in a lot of families. A lot of families. And the woman didn't really say anything. The children didn't say anything. That's you know, that's what dad did. Was it right? No, I'm not saying it was right. However, it has not it isn't I'm not saying all men cheat. I'm not saying that. But how many times do we hear the history of men sleeping with more than one woman? So I think we have to start to dissect this and think, are all men doing something wrong? No, it's the nature of a man to to have sex and to reproduce. Men are supposed to have sex and have children. It becomes cheating when you're being dishonest and you're lying about it. That's when it becomes cheating. So, who came up with the word cheating? Like, where did cheating and monogamy come from? A lot of times, men are just doing what their testosterone and things are telling them to do. God, you know, we have a lot in that is similar to animals. Animals don't be in relationships. The male animals go sleep with the female animals. That's just what it is. They're not really claiming or putting themselves in relationships. Relationships is something that was brought on to us. Um, because guess what? It's a part of depopulation. So you, of course they don't want it to be so much. They have so many things that try to you know, that they use to try to bring the population down. A man can go have sex with three women in a month and really create three babies. He can, where a woman
Mm-hmm.
can only have one baby at a time. And so I do think that men were put here, like, and the fact that, you know, we have monogamy and we have relationships, and now a lot of times men are trying to operate in this role because, you know, this is what it is. You know, they want to have a family, they want to be in a relationship, but they be fighting the nature of the man and who they really are. And so what I would have to say, the if I could say anything, and this would be to men first, is you have to give the woman the option. It's only cheating when you're not saying anything about it and you're lying and being dishonest about it. So I would say let the woman know what's going on and how you feeling, and then she at least has the choice to say, I don't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And she can walk away.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you though, a lot of times the woman is not going to walk away. They're not. Like you just said, we take men back all the time. A lot of times the woman is not going to walk away. And so if a man could just be honest up front about what it is and then give the woman the choice to decide if she wants to deal with that or not, that would help a lot right now with eliminating cheating, with eliminating a lot of the things that you said has happened in your previous marriages, because I do think that there's women out there that's like, okay, you know, he's taking care of my home. He's taking care of the children. He understands that the laws of nature and how it comes to with a man having sex, and he understands his feelings. And so at least if I be honest with her, then she could choose from there.
Yeah.
And so I do think that's something that we just do need to start with. Tater says, but why is society making it seem like it's okay for men to sleep around, but if women do it, they are thought a hoe is so hypocritical. And that's one of the that's one of the topics you brought up. So let's dive
Yeah.
into it. because I really do want to dive into this topic. And chilling with Bree says wildlife alpha males are a nightmare to the human race. He definitely gonna have to come on here and elaborate. Tater says I agree. A woman should have the options, and if she says that, that's on her. But everyone deserves the option, and I do think, that is what it is, because you could have somebody in a relationship for, you know a long time, and the man can say that to her, and she might just be okay with it. She might, if she feels like it's not taking any value out of her life and he was honest about it, she might be okay with it. And you have some women who say that I'm not going to deal with this. I would. It's like, I'm not saying put up with cheating. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if a man is honest with a woman, that sometimes you have to look at that and be like, we gonna stay if he not honest. So if he is honest, just be wise when you choose. Especially if we say all men cheat. Because what are we gonna do? We gonna leave the situation and go to the next? Like,
Especially if they all cheat. But I don't agree that all men cheat. I
I
don't
don't
agree that all
I
men
I,
don't
cheat.
agree.
I don't agree with that neither, but it is some sneaky ones that will persuade you and make you feel like they are the best things in the world and be cheating on you the whole time. And
And once I
it's right
find
under
out, I'm
your eyes.
good.
You be like, and you be like, what? The whole time though? You never know. Because they don't show anything that shows that they are cheating. And they are
Do
very
you think do you think when a man, so if a man cheats and be okay, so we remember that cheating is being dishonest.
yeah,
Did I put that word in here? Let me see real quick.
yeah,
Cheat. Act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage. So he wants to sleep with another woman, that's his gain, and he acts dishonestly about it. He's not being honest about it. So that's what would make it cheating. So do
you
you
can
think that do you guys think that if a man cheats, do you think that he loves the if a man have sex with a different woman, do you think that he loves his wife or his main woman any less?
no, no.
What
It's
about you, mother?
It depends on why he's cheating. It depends on why he's cheating. If he's because so the reason I say that is because um I've seen a situation where a man was in a marriage and he hadn't cheated, but he was looking for a friend. And men and women in friendships, especially if the other person is taken in a marriage, then why would you want a friend? Because y'all gonna be talking, y'all gonna be sneaking around, y'all gonna be doing all that. So now if the woman agrees to that, she's wrong because she know he's married. But then I ask the question, if you feel this way, then why do you stay? Why do you stay? Why not just, well, because we got a house, we got the children, we got this, we got that. So sometimes from what I've seen and from what I've heard, they can't they don't feel that they should up make the whole household in an uproar, like by leaving. So they will rather cheat than to go through all of that, a divorce, splitting everything up, the children, the finances, the home, everything like that. So they would rather cheat. And then also it depends on why they're cheating and who they're cheating with. They don't really intend for it to ever really last forever. They're only doing this for a period of time. And then sometimes it does cross over, whereas now they've grown emotionally attached to this person and now they can't get out of it. And then women have to understand that once you forgive it, once you forgive it, are you saying that you forgave it and that you'll forgive it again? And then is that opening you up to, if you should move on to another relationship, are you going to forgive it again? Because now you're playing with your own feelings and your own emotions and settling for less.
Okay. I look at it in a different perspective. I look at it as means I don't think that they intend to cheat. I don't think it's something that they want to do, because only reason I think that is because they said cheating starts first in your mind. So if I if you can start, you can cheat in your mind. That's what they said. The first thing when you start lusting and you start looking at persons different, you cheating automatically. So at the end of the day, a man don't cheat because they I'm just this that. A man, because they lack uh how you said they lack happiness, and they like more and more and more. They never satisfied. They want more of it. They want more. If you got a good woman at home, he want another one. He want another good woman. Then he want another one. Then he want another one. He's just they want more and more and more and more and more and more. It's never a satisfaction for them. They are gonna look to achieve better and better and better. Oh man, I got a good one at home. I'm gonna go see, can I find a better one? Oh, I'm gonna go see, can I find somebody better than that? I'm gonna see if I can find somebody who do more than this person. It's just they never satisfied. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why they cheat. They don't. It ain't because they not happy at home. It ain't because they don't have a good woman at home. It's just because that it's something that they desire and they never satisfy. God said that men live off of greed.
Okay. Let me play this
But
clip
if you
real
would
quick.
cheat on me or walk out
Well,
on
see,
me,
that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating? Where did that idea come from that that's cheating? And I'm not saying that a lot of men are not just running around. I'm not talking about that. But if a woman finds out that her man has been with a woman while she's been with him for 3 or 4 or 5 years, that's a serious commitment and relationship. And if it hasn't taken anything from me, if I'm not going short of anything, and if this is what he thinks his responsibility is, then what kind of hell are you going to go through to prevent that? Since we cannot stop him, we have not been successful. The white woman has not been successful in stopping the white man from having another woman. They call them a mistress. We pick up a lot of that terminology. But a man who has 2 women, that's not necessarily a mistress. That's just his other woman. Now we got 2
Mom, you said you couldn't hear that clip. You couldn't hear that. Mika, could you hear it?
I heard it. I heard it.
Did you hear it, Mom?
No.
Okay. Tell me if you could hear it right now. If you can't, I'm sorry. I don't know
but
why.
if you would cheat on me or walk out
Well,
on me,
see, that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating?
Could you hear it, Mother?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. But she basically was saying, who said cheating was cheating? Like, where did we get this definition from? And in the history of everything, men have been doing this. It's never really been different. And you or not cheating, because she's saying who came up with that word, but just being with more than one woman.
Right.
Um, it's something that we can't stop and can't prevent. If they want to do it, they're just gonna do it. Mika, what you have to say about that video?
Okay, she did. She touched a lot of bases on that video, especially when she said that um you've been committed to a person for 5 to 6 years. Just because he have another woman don't mean that he's cheating. Just another woman that he have on the side. So and she's also stated that the white people call it a mistress. So it's we consider it cheating because I guess we really don't know where that word come from. We don't. It's a man made word, so we don't know the true definition of it. We just go by what we hear. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, in different cultures, men got different, numerous of different women's, and
And
they
that's
honest with
right.
all of them. They honest with every woman. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. They'll tell them you don't have to stay. You have a choice. You can leave, but I'm gonna take care of all my women's equally. You can be there. You can be in a relationship with them. Versus that's what goes to tell me again. Versus a woman can't do that. A woman
Mhm.
can't do that. We can't say, okay, we want numerous of different men, and you can choose to stay if you want to or you don't, because you know why? They're gonna look up as our value. We get names put on our back. We get called names versus what a man will, and then that's why I said the world is messed up, and I believe that it's because of what Eve did. So God put a whooping on us. He put a whooping on us, and we got to deal with it. But it's a
Mhm.
hard thing to deal with sometimes because we are emotional, and we are always emotional, regardless if a man can have 15 different women. A woman is still going to be emotionally attached, even though she accepted that he does that. We still be emotionally attached, and we don't want him to. We still want him for ourselves. So I think it's a mind game. It's a thing that we deal with in life, and it's up to us if we want to accept it. But then if we don't accept it, we still taking chances to be with a man that don't cheat. Like I told you, you out of many, have been blessed because you have found a soulmate since you left school. You have found a soulmate to be there for your backbone. You have found the soulmate that's gonna handle you and take care of you and the children. You are totally blessed and highly favored. And you know how many women envy you? We it's so many envy you because of what you do have. It's so many of us out here that is yearning the things that you have, and you don't brag about it, you don't boast about it, but you let us know that you can get it too.
Mhm.
You don't have to be out here to do what you got to go. You can get it too, and you teaching us the way to get it, and
I
we appreciate you on that. We do.
Oh, thank you so much. I do try to at least try to give things that work for me and maybe they can work for someone else. And I do see things that maybe did not work. So I do think that we can learn from other people's mistakes instead of experiencing them ourselves. If you see someone having a hard time and everything is not working in a situation, then they're showing you what not to do. So sometimes we got to learn from other people's mistakes. So that's why when I see a lot of people on my timeline, if I am taking in information, I could take in for information from someone who is living totally like I don't want to live because it's teaching me the things not to do to get the results that they are getting. And so I thank you for your kind words. And when I do shows like this or when I posts or make posts or statuses, I have to be prepared for comments like Tater that says, Dorcetta, what if Chris wants to bring in another woman? And because I am transparent and because you know, I'm confident in, everything we have going on and stuff. And so if I'm able to answer this, it's fine.
Hmm.
If Chris wants to bring in another woman, well, we have to go off, who each person is. Like I said, that's why you have to be careful when you're laying down having children with someone because their morals and standards and all of those things matter. So I already know Chris isn't, just doing this freely, However, Chris has happened to be connected with another woman. If that just so happened, I'm telling you right now, the best thing I could say is be we have these conversations. Let me know. We've been together 18 years. That's a long time for a man for that to be the only person that you sleep with for a man for 18 years. So if anything, please be upfront with me and let me know. Now, once he let me know, I'll go from there. I can't say now, but just thinking ahead, I could not see myself giving up my 18-year relationship because he wanted to go experience another woman and he was honest with me. I don't think I would give up my relationship for that. And I don't really think that he will love me any less. I don't think that. I just understand the nature of a man and I understand that there are men that could be with one woman for the rest of their life, which I do think that we're fine. But I think that I would have an understanding if I he could be alive for another 30 years and I'm the only person. I think if he was honest with me, I don't think I would leave my relationship. That's just what it is. But I think we've been together a long time and we built a strong relationship and foundation. So I don't really see that happening. But if it did, I don't think I would give up my relationship. Breezy says, sounds like Kevin for a man. I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about because he posted that a little bit ago. Um, and then Tater says, gotcha, was just curious. But from what you were saying, Mika, with me being blessed in my situation, I do think that that plays a part when I talk about on my post about, just preparing and training to be a wife. Um, and I do think that I prepared and saw that I wanted to be a wife and a mom a long time ago. And so every move that I made from the time that I started being active or start dating, I thought about, to meaning that Chris is my only boyfriend ever. From that one decision, anything that happened in the past, I could have easily stepped out and did anything, and I could have been another relationship. When you have multiple partners or multiple relationships, you have pair bonding. Pair bonding is man, did I let me see one second. Did I put in pair bonding? Um I didn't put it in here. Yes, I did. Casual sex with multiple partners can make it more difficult to form permanent bonds in the future. This is because casual sex decreases neurochemical production and causes the brain to form a new syn- synaptic. I
Mhm.
hope I pronounced that right.
You did
Map.
good.
Okay, thank you. Map of one night stands, which could become the new norm. Some research has shown that multiple partners combined with other factors such as early sex and inconsistent condom use can be associated with mental disorders like anxiety, depression, and substance dependence. So when we first, you know, giving up our bodies and having sex, we have to be very mindful. And I just think that I've been very mindful of that from the very beginning, which, it shapes um, I just think that it's just when you're mindful from the very beginning, it shapes the future, and I think that's just why the outcome is just the way that it is. Because and also when you have women like we were talking about, men asleep with a lot of women, and it wouldn't be, you said in a post or in a message that they'd be considered pimps or they'll be considered high value if they can get multiple women. But if a woman sleeps around, then she is considered a whore, or a 304 or all of that. And I think that's because we are women, we are receivers. So every time we're sleeping with a man, we are receiving things from that man, from his bodily fluids to his um and the sperm, and what it has an effect on our DNA, our mentality. It does. So we can't just go sleep with multiple people because we intake all of those things. Men are not intaking all of those things from women. And like I
Yeah.
said, I do believe men were put here to reproduce. We all were put here to reproduce, but I do think that men can have access to multiple women, if they move a certain way and they like to have sex, and then that's just what they do. And women, we can't. That's why we only can have one baby a year. It's not meant for us to be sleeping with multiple people. Chilling with Bree said women are supposed to be more perfect than us. Why would women want to be a big bad man?
Well,
Thank you, children with
we
breeze.
don't want to be a man. We don't want to be a man, but okay. Just say for instance, I have a situation that I've been through in my life.
You
I
talking
had
to me?
a problem with learning how to accept and understand what love really was. So growing up as I was young, I thought that love came from sex. Okay, every time somebody get in a relationship with you, oh, I love you, I end up having sex with them. Then they break up with me. Then I move to the next one. Then I get with them, and then they tell me they love me, and then I start dating them. As soon as they get the sex, they break up with me. So it's like I didn't ask for numerous of partners. I just didn't know how to value myself at those times when I was younger because I didn't know what the word of love really was, or a relationship, or being with a boyfriend. Because the only person I seen was my mom and my daddy together. And my mom didn't sit down and really talk to us because she, you know, thinking that, okay, they set an example already from being married and being in the same house and raising us. So she never sat down and talked to me about this is what love is, and this is what you're supposed to be treated like, and this is what you're supposed to be woo woo woo. So I pretty much learned it on my own. You know,
Mhm.
I had a good mama, I had a good father, but they never took the time out to talk to us about. If just because a man tell you they love you don't mean they want it, and you in a relationship with them don't mean you gotta have sex with them. So
Mhm.
I didn't know no better. So therefore, after I did that, I became all type of, oh, she's nasty, she's this, she's that. When really I wasn't. I was just learning and didn't know no better. You know,
Right.
I was what as I got older, I learned the values of respecting myself. You know, I learned the values of respecting myself. I learned the values of every just because somebody tell you they love you don't mean that you have to open your legs to them or you have to lay in the bed with them or nothing like that. But that's what I'm saying. It just goes to show that a man can do it and not have a name on them, to not be scarred, to not look at badly. But a woman make a mistake and go through it. We got 15,000 names. Now men don't want to date you because of this name. Now they look at you, oh, she's nasty. I never cuff her, or I never be in a relationship with her, or she sleep with multiple men and da 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 da. When really I was just looking for love and didn't know how. Didn't know
And
my worth.
I
can I
definitely
just say
feel you.
something?
Mhm.
So a couple of things. A couple of things. I'm gonna go back to the comment that the question that Tater asked you. Um, um, I don't even think Chris would even ask you that, and I respect him enough as a son-in-law and as a son to know that he loves you enough to not even ask you that. Um, and then with back in our days, our parents didn't really communicate with us. Well, I can't say all of us. I can just say some of our parents did not communicate with us the way that they could have. But that's only because I feel that they couldn't give us something that they didn't get. Some of us were blessed with parents that did communicate with us, and some of us were not blessed with parents that communicate with us. That's why I think this is a newer generation, and that's why I do see a change amongst the women, amongst the men, and amongst the communication with us. We are having more conversations with each other. We are having more conversations with our children. That also takes me to the fact that, yes, men, um, everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. But nowadays, I can say that men are not necessarily looking at a woman like, well, she got this many kids and she done been here and she done been around. Men are not looking at like that nowadays. I can say that I've seen men who has dated, who's married now to someone who had 5 children before they even met, before they now they're married.
Mhm.
Now they're married. So I think that change is happening because this is where we are now. And yes, women, just like men, may have more than one child. You could have been in a relationship and you didn't know that that relationship wasn't going to go nowhere. You trusted that that relationship was going to prosper and be something positive and everlasting. And things happen, things change, people change. So then you may be introduced to somebody else. That's okay. You got to try. You can't give up. You can't give up, and you got to try. We just have to judge better and not settle. I think we have to make sure we don't settle, and I think we have to make sure that we have our own standards and we stick to those standards. And we have to understand that when you choose to leave, and if you choose to leave for somebody else, no one person is going to have 100% of everything you want and everything you need.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely agree.
And that's why I
Now,
say,
with that being said, y'all, it is 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. I have
Okay.
to be up at 5.
Oh wow, mother. Are you saying good night?
I love you guys. I love you, Dorcetta. Good night, Tamika.
Good
I
night.
love you. Good night.
All right,
And
good
that's
night.
why I say it goes to show that we have to lead, even as being women's, we still have to lead by example. Just like even with men, they say they supposed to lead an example. They supposed to be the leader over their household. So even if you being a leader, anyone that's got authority over your household, we have to start leading by example. I sit down and talk to my child. I talk to all my kids now. And I ask them
Mhm.
about, do they think about this? And I talk to them all the way down to 11. Because I have an
That's
11-year
good.
old daughter that came home and told me that she is bisexual.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's 11. Yeah. So I said, she kind of shocked me a little bit because I was like, what is bisexual? Do you know what bisexual is? She said, yeah, I like both.
Mm.
So at 11, I'm not thinking that her mind was thinking about that at all. So I'm happy that she came to me and told me that, because my intention was never to ask her till she reached up there a little bit to like 12, 13 years old, what she's interested in. I was going to talk to her then. But
Mhm.
at 11, I'm not thinking that she's interested in no one,
Mhm.
because she's a
And
kid.
I think that at 11, she probably don't really understand. I think sometimes we get a little bit confused with that, especially as children and all that we see on TV and social media. And a lot of times now you will have maybe a girl who look at another girl and think like, oh, she's pretty. I like her clothes. I like how she acts. Oh, I want to be like her. And then they think that means they like her. But that's not, what that means. You might admire some things about her. Some things might stand out about her that you like, but that don't mean that you like her. I think with all the things that's put in front of the children and us, that's why it gets confusing with them. Because when we were 11, we probably didn't know what bisexual means. But
And
because of social media and TV shows and things like that, they know what that means now. And they're just putting a lot of that stuff in. You could watch TV and go past a commercial with two women kissing. We didn't see stuff like that on TV. And so there's definitely a propaganda and agenda, and I would make sure I would talk to her and ask her like why? Because when you probably ask her the why, she probably can't really answer them, and
she,
then you will be able to break down to her like that's not what it is.
the way these kids is in this new generation, yeah, she can't answer it. She answered it. It freaked me out. I said, why do
Really?
you think? I said, why do you think you bisexual, and why do you call yourself bisexual? I had a whole conversation with her. She
Really?
Because I'm attracted to women's and I'm attracted to men's, but I'm attracted to women's more. I like what I like. And I said, well, what? I was kind of appalled because when I conversate with her, she acts like her mind is way more mature than an 11-year-old. And it kind of
Mhm.
freaks me out sometimes because she's like, she say, well, and I'll be like, well, do you dress boyish because you want to dress boyish? Because you act like a boy? Do you want to act like a boy? Because she got so much boyish ways, is she don't act like a girly girl. So
Okay.
I was just like, well, okay. I talked to her because I do want to get an understanding with her. I do want to know, because it's a lot of them now, the young generation that's 10, 11, 12, and they all want to be gay. They all like women.
It's
And
definitely a propaganda and agenda that they
yeah,
place in front of us.
it's crazy, and that's why I'll be like, that's why I say I don't want to bring different relationships in and out in my kids. Like that's why I try not to. If I date somebody and I know I'm serious about it, then I bring them around my kids, and that's why I think I'd be so afraid of jumping in and out of relationship, and I think that's why I deal with so much from one man when I do date them, is because I don't want my kids to think that it's okay to be in and out of relationships, to be in and out of, it's okay. You got to be committed to someone, stick by their side. fight through the battles and try to not give up on everything. So I've tried to fight through the battles and I deal with so much because of I think that's why we do deal with a lot and we don't give up quick to go run to another person because we don't want to bring that type of atmosphere around our children. And we want
Mhm.
we know what we once our kids get comfortable with a person, we don't want to snatch them out their life. Soon as something happen, we want to try to work through it because we be like, man, my kids like him. I don't want to just be in and out of relationships. So he done been in my house, he didn't stay with me now, and you just be like, I don't want to go redate. I don't want to go redate. I want to just be, So we end up forgiving and forgiving because we also try to. We got kids,
Right.
versus a woman without children. A woman without children probably don't care.
Mhm.
They probably just be like, oh, well, I ain't got no kids by him. I ain't got no kids with him. I ain't got no kids, period. I'm going to do me. Deuces. Or they'll say something like that because but when you have children involved, I think it's different.
It's definitely different. I think that we need to keep in mind that, I know we don't want to bring different people around, be in and out of a relationship, but is there any, because we don't want the children to see that and be around that, but is there any benefit to it if that is, they do see a relationship, but it's not a healthy one?
Yeah. 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 That bothers me too because that's why I said that goes to show it's so much that we put on our shoulders to try to figure out on a daily, especially as being a woman. It's being a woman. It's we deal with so much, so much, so much. We got to try to figure out how to save our kids. Situations they go through. We got to try to figure out how to make our situation more comfortable. We bear a lot on our shoulders, and it sometimes it do be overbearing because we sometimes we try to figure it out so much we'll lose ourselves.
Yeah.
We lose ourselves. So it's rough, trying to be a good anything. You could try to be a good woman if you're not a wife. You try to be a good woman. You try to be a good wife. You try to be a good mother. You try to be a good role model. You try to be you just juggle so much. Now, if a man go out and sleep with and have multiple women, a young boy would love it, and a man is not fond of not showing it. But they don't want their daughters to see it because they don't want their daughter to find a man like that. But they'll do it. And let they boys, they boys, well, oh yeah, dad. I'm gonna be just like you, dad. I'm gonna have all the women's and dad and this, that, and that. But if a woman do it, how you teach your daughter nasty tendencies, whole tendencies, this, that, and that, and just be like, okay.
Well, we do know men and women, because I think I hear this a lot. Like, if men could do it, why can't we do it? Which is kind of what the title of the show was, and it's truly a difference. So I had this example presented today. We were talking about this, me and Chris, and he said, "Would you? Let me just ask you: would you rather have, if you had to choose between two cars, are you going to pick the car with a lot of miles on it, or are you going to pick the car with the least miles on it?"
We gonna pick the car with the least miles.
We're gonna pick the car with the least miles.
But
And
I,
so
I,
that,
I don't know. But I don't know that. You know why? You know why I don't know that? Because if this car got a lot of miles on it, that means this car been through hell and back and still putting and still moving and still good. Versus I just get this car, it can have no miles on it and it still could break down on me. So
true,
it goes vice versa.
it do. However, if we see a man have a lot of cars, are we gonna be like, are we gonna look at him like as something bad? If we see a car with a lot of miles, we're gonna be, our mind is gonna go towards, maybe this car is not that reliable. Maybe it's being used a lot. Maybe it has some damage done to it. But if we see a man with a lot of cars, are we going to think bad of him if he has a lot of cars?
Well, I mean, I don't know because once again, it goes to look at it differently
No,
because I can
wait, but
look
we're
at
not
it.
gonna look. We're not gonna look at it differently first. We're gonna stay right here. and answer that
Yeah, I'm talking about
question.
that's what I'm trying to answer that question without looking at it like a yes or no, because I don't know which one I choose. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know which one I would choose because
Don't
I
choose
I
one.
I,
I'm
I
just
didn't have
saying,
I didn't
how
have
would
money.
you how would you
Uh,
look at a man who had a lot of cars?
like just
He got a Bentley, he got a Durango, he got a Mercedes, he got a Cadillac. How would you look at him?
a person that like cars.
A person that like cars. You wouldn't wonder why he has access to so many cars or have those cars, and you
No.
wouldn't. And so I think that normally, or for me, if I did see a man that have a lot of cars, it probably been like, wow, he got a lot of cars. I mean, how he get those cars? What's it to him when he need all these cars? He's able to drive all these cars. Is anything, does that make him bad in any kind of way, or does he lose
No.
value because he have so many cars or
Mm-mm.
drive so many cars? No. But as women who might have been with multiple people, the car with a lot of miles, the car has less value if it has a lot of miles on it. But the person who drives the multiple cars don't have less value.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, so if I get a car and it got a lot of miles on it, like I don't always go to a car lot to buy a new car. I
Mhm.
always go buy what I can afford. So if I go look on marketplace and find a car that's reasonable and it's affordable for me and it got a lot of miles on it, only thing my mind gonna think of is all it need is a tender loving care. I'm gonna go
Mhm.
spend a couple of hundreds on it after I buy it, for not so much, and I'm gonna get it fixed. That it's gonna probably run me a lifetime. Versus I
Mhm.
can probably go in the car lot and get a car and it could break down on me. Even though I got a warranty on it, but it still could break down on me. So I'm still getting the same quality out the car. You just paying more for the other one than you did for that one. So just because this woman had a lot of miles on her, don't mean she lose more value than a woman who haven't had nothing on them.
You so I'm not going to say you lose value, but what I am going to say is that what we was talking about, when if you got multiple children, and multiple men where you had them children with, those things are adding up in a man's head as losing value, because a man, first of all, usually a man wants you to have their first child, especially if they don't have any children. And if they do have children, they still want you to be the one to have they want your child to be their first, they want your first child to be their child. Why is that? Because of all, the things, someone don't want to take on the responsibilities. And, that could be, looked at in two different ways. But I don't think it's wrong for someone to not want to take on all those responsibilities. But, um, I don't think it's wrong. And do they have the right to have that standard? Yes, but I think that's how they look at it. Children are going to be a liability. They don't just have to protect you. They have to protect the children too. They don't just have to lead you. They have to lead the children too. And not only that, if they got multiple dads, now have to maybe have to have connections with these different men as well. And, my woman might have a connection with these men as well.
But
Take
one
out the children. Take out the
one
children. Just put multiple partners.
mm-hmm.
Of course, men are territorial, so they don't want a woman, who's a lot of people have had. And so I think that's the value part of it for women, where women want men. If you, like you said, you see a man with a woman, and us women will want that man because we see how so a man with multiple women is not going to lose value. We actually see a man who do have a lot of who have women, and we that makes us attracted to them. And so I think that's where the value comes in, that men, we look at that as a positive, where for us it's more like it's different. It's different. It's not the same.
Well,
And
I look at it as either way. I don't look at a man attractive who been with a lot of women either. Just like they don't look at attractive, because if you slept with so many numbers of women, and all these women you didn't say, I mean, they everybody. We could go around people. Ooh, I had him, girl. Ooh, his sex good. Ooh, I had him. Good. Everybody say the same thing the same way with a woman. You know, I don't think that's attractive neither, because it's like
so if you had
you
any access to any celebrities or anything, you wouldn't date them.
like access to celebrities.
Yeah.
I don't know if I date somebody who had access to celebrity. I don't know.
No, I'm saying, like, would you date a celebrity? Like,
Uh,
who's a celebrity that you find really attractive?
What's his name? What's his,
Who?
what's his name? Big Boogie, big dude, Big Boogie. You know what I'm talking about?
I
The one,
don't know what you.
the one be like, I'm not your smash nigga. Ben that. You know the song. I'm big dude. He dark. You know the Boogie dude. The one
No,
got
I don't.
the
He a
dance.
rapper?
Yeah, he be having people hold him up, and when you dancing and do that dance like this. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
He did a
But
song.
he's famous,
Yeah,
and does he have access to a lot of women?
I don't know, cause the way he act, he don't, because he like how you said he's southern, and he got a different way of the way he was raised, and the way
Man, so you saying you attracted to him, but you saying that you don't think a lot of other women attracted
it's
to him.
a lot of women's attracted to him. I didn't say they not attracted to him, but he don't you never ever see him like flossing off women's or saying he in
But I'm
relationship.
saying if he wanted access to them, he can get access to them.
Could get active, but he don't. You know how most men have all these women's, and this say in his videos, he just like to dance. He like to dance. He like to joy. He have like multiple dudes in his video, women's and everybody in his videos. So,
Mhm.
but he don't just all about women's. His music is about dancing. His music is about fun. He like dancing and stuff. And his morals were straight set differently. So
Mhm.
he's attractive because of all of that, really, because he's fine and he's not a lusting over women's, and he's the bomb to me because he got all the qualities of he know how to respect women, and he
And
talks.
but I don't think that you would, if you could date him, or if you could have access to him, I don't think you would deny it.
I wouldn't, because I like him.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, we can know a man has a lot of access to women, and that don't make us attracted to them, but we're still attracted to them. That's why, and so are all the other women. That's why they have access to them. And so that's why I kind of say, it's not the same. Chris Hawkins says a man that gets a certain age and hasn't had sex isn't an attractive trait to a woman. A woman would want a 30-year-old. A woman wouldn't want a 30-year-old virgin.
Well, I would.
You would?
Yeah, I don't want everything that everybody wants or everybody.
I
I
think
like
that, and you
I
know
like
what? I think that,
opposite.
right. That probably comes with our age as well. I think in our younger days, or in
Yeah,
your younger days, you
yeah.
probably wouldn't have wanted the 30-year-old version, or wouldn't have been attracted to that.
In
But
my
now I could see why you would say that now. The
yeah,
less option a man has, lower his sexual attractiveness to women. A woman don't want a man no other woman wants. So I think that's what we was kind of talking about earlier. Like, he don't got a lot of access. That's why women want the same man, Because if he don't got a lot of access to win or ain't a man, I mean women, nobody ain't really looking at him, then nobody ain't looking at him. But
Yeah.
if he has the man who a lot of women are attracted to is the man that we are attracted to.
But
So that just
do you know how you can go right now, right? And you can go get a man that nobody wants. And you can get with that man. Now everybody want him. Everybody wants your man now because you talk to him. When I married my husband, my first husband, nobody liked him because he was everybody. Ooh, he ugly. He this. He that. When I married him, everybody under the sun wanted him. He started cheating galore. You hear me? So I don't think it's just. I just think that it's. I don't know what it is, but you can get with somebody that nobody wants, and everybody look at him like, ugh, with their nose up. But the moment they see him with somebody that they'll look like, oh, what are you doing over there? What's she doing? With
that's probably why, yep.
I want to see. Now they trying to get him, and now he's cheating on you because he excited behind it because he getting some attention. Because to be honest, men isn't really scared of women's. They're afraid. They don't know how to approach women. They really don't know how to approach women. They don't know if a woman really attracted to them. So really, they be a man. But when they start getting that attention, baby, and it be on and popping with them, then they take it too far
Mhm.
because they
And
not got much attention.
Chris Hawkins says that proved my point. Nobody wanted him until you wanted him.
Yes, exactly, and that's how it is because it ain't what everybody wants. That's just like monkey see, monkey do. If you go out right now and you go buy a pair of shoes that's ugly than that thing, and you known in the hood, everybody gonna go buy that pair of shoes just because you wearing them. So it just a trend that everybody wants what everybody else have. And
Hmm.
that's just like even in relationship wise, everybody wants what everybody else have. You can go pick out a man could go pick out the ugliest woman in the room, and just because that man is known and he wanted her, everybody else gonna want her. Not all these guys looking at her. Now everybody try to go behind his back to talk to you, all because he wanted you. Now they want to see what it is to you. What he attracted to. And that
Hmm.
goes vice versa, even with women's and men's. Nobody wants nothing that nobody else wants.
Or I think that it's with anything you want what you don't have
And that's why I
or
said
can.
earlier, everybody
Mhm.
wants what they don't have. They want what they can't get. They want it. And they'll do anything for it.
Mhm.
Anything for it. And that's just with anything. Money, clothes, cars, anything, not just relationship. Everybody want what they can't have. If a person go out and say, "Oh, they got a nice car in their driveway," and they ain't got it, somebody break in there and take your car and steal it because they want it. It don't belong to you.
Do you Chris Hawkins says it don't work the same way for men. A man don't want a woman who everyone else has had.
Yeah, we know. We definitely know that one.
So that's why I think we is trying to say, or that's why I think is a point that men and women are not the same.
but
So that
but
also says why men don't want we men and women can't sleep around
I,
with a lot of people like men do
but
because
also.
men don't want women
Mhm.
who everyone else had.
I, okay, that's hard to say because a man to go and wife and treat a woman who's then had a lot of women's, then been a thought, been on these streets doing everything on this, so they'll go cuff that woman and treat that woman like a queen, but leave a woman at home that they didn't did everything. That woman that did everything for him, put him on his feet, got him a crib, got him a car, that had his kids, been with him, treated him good. I mean, did everything a woman's supposed to do, and the man to go out and go sleep with a woman that's nasty and all types of and comfort and leave the relationship that they didn't build. So men chase thoughts too.
I don't know if he would cover, and if he do, is it an upgrade of his last person?
Look at Mimi. Look at Mimi. Just for example, look at we watch all this love and hip hop, and you know it's a lot of them on there. Look at Mimi. Example. Mimi was a boss. She was good. She had Stevie J first child. She treated him good. She never cheated on him. She was a boss woman. She had his back. She did everything. And she cooked, she cleaned. Versus he went out sleeping with Jocelyn, who was a stripper, who was selling her body, was on the stage. He went out, got with her, bossed her up, and married her before he married Mimi, who buried his first child and was with him for a long time. Well, buried the child with him. Was first baby mama, did all that. And he went and married Jocelyn.
It gets hard with celebrities. I don't really feel like a lot of celebrities really have any morals or standards. They
But
sleeping with
still, they
everybody.
shows the world. They are entertainment to show the world how reality really works. You can be all you can be. You can be the best woman in the world for a man, but a man will still leave you, go out and date and marry after you've been with him for so many years, just like that woman who was on there, Tyra, whatever, on the other Love Hip Hop. She was a good woman. She had Peter first kids. She was dating him, married, dating him for years, years on top of years. They was high school lovers. He went and married another woman behind her back, and she wasn't no good. He did all of that, and he went and married
They're
that
ce-
woman who was
they're
broken.
celebrities. They have access to many of women. That's what happens. He ain't gonna stay with one woman when he has access to many women.
Yeah,
So
but
that's why I just said they situations to me are not really the same, because in that situation, even you know the other girl's gonna turn around and be fine with Peter because he's a celebrity and she know he has a wife. I just think that when it comes to celebrities, there's no morals and standards involved, and a lot of them, like I said, we look up to them and stuff because they are in entertainment, but I do think that we need to see it's entertainment. Like, be, because they're celebrities. Like, he has access to many of women. So
but men in the
I
world do
could
it
see
too.
that. You said what?
Men's in the world do it too, Dory. Like they really do. They be out here and will go cheat on a woman who's at home doing everything they're supposed to do and go sleep with it and jeopardize their whole relationship with
To have
with
sex.
with a nasty woman who's out here sleeping with everybody, and then they'll go cuff them, and then say, and then after they cuff them and get in a serious relationship, they'll look at you now and say, well, I'm in a relationship with her now, and try to say I'm trying to do right now. If you try to reround back on them and go back and talk to him, now he in a relationship with her and he don't want to cheat with you now because he in love with her, but you cheated on me with her. Now you better. I don't get it. Men's do the weirdest things to me, and I be trying to understand it, and I be like, so now you better. Now
I
you
mean,
then.
sometimes the value of a man raises as he grows older, as he gets older. Men value increase over time. So as they increase what they had, they might, as their value increase, now they have access to more. Then they go off of that. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying, especially in the celebrity world, if he has access to more, especially if Peter was like dating, what's her name, Amina or something, like you said years, he probably wasn't even as valuable in the beginning as he was in the end. He has more access to women now, so
Yeah,
he kind of
yeah.
acted on it. Um,
They look at the life and welcome to the women's world. The things we go through.
And that's why I
Oh
think it's
God.
important that we just always make sure that we being the best we can be and staying positive, staying feminine and attract, what comes your way. Sometimes we got to lower our standards too.
Yep.
Maybe especially if you're dealing with some things, or if you have had multiple partners, or you used to be in the streets, because a lot of times we like to have our fun, but then when we turn a certain age, we ready to settle down, and the
Hmm.
man don't really want you after you had your fun.
Yep. And
They
that's
wanted you before you had your fun. And so that's why I think that the way we move and stuff is very important. We have to be mindful of that from the moment we start dating, the
yep.
very
Yep.
first
You're right.
moment.
Yep. You're very right
Uh,
because I definitely. Well, my standards never really been high. That's why I think I went through so much in my life because my standards never been high, and I really wish I would have raised them a little high because I wasted a lot of years trying to find love in all the wrong places because of me not having a standard limit in my life.
mhm,
So if I would higher my standards, I wouldn't have messed with half of the men that just really didn't care.
mhm,
So I believe sometimes it is good to raise your standards because I always lived a life where I didn't raise my standards. I ain't care if he had a car, and I ain't care if he had no money. I just felt like, okay, he with me, he say he love me, and that's it. And since he say he love me and he ain't got nothing to offer to give me but love, I mess around with him and then ended up in the same boat regardless. So it's sometimes it's good to raise your standards because maybe I wouldn't have had my mind and went through what I went through.
mhm. I definitely, yeah, see it from that aspect. I think I was talking more so like uh someone who might have been through a lot or might be older, like you it would be best because like I said, a lot of times, we want more than what we can give, I guess you would
Yeah,
say. And that just that can vary depending on the situations. But that's what I mean with lower our standards. Sometimes a woman ain't really looking for a man like now if he can't provide her with some name brand, some, be able to pay for her stuff, everything on the first date. Or, even if he not paying for stuff on the first date, they want this lavish lifestyle, and if he can't provide that, then they not really going for him. So I think that's what I mean, lower our standards. Like, we don't need them to be, they're supposed to be providing protection, love, security, those important things, not name brand things. So I think that's what I meant towards lower your standards. But I definitely see what you're saying as far as raising your standards,
yeah.
uh, because maybe it would have changed some of the situations you've been in. Hey, chilling with Breeze, thanks for joining.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I'm doing
Doing fine.
fine.
Yeah, how
Thanks
y'all?
for
Everybody
joining
good?
in. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, you welcome. How y'all? Everything going good? I see y'all having a great conversation. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I've
we
been.
are having a great conversation. Did you have something you want to add to it?
First, I'm gonna tell Mika, don't be a hater, Mika. Just because one day we wake up and act different. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate. Don't hate. We can be different if we want to. You know what I'm saying?
You
We
talking
wake up.
about me?
Yeah, when Mika was like one day, y'all just feel like when she said, you was cheating with me on her with me, but then you ain't gonna cheat on me with her. Now you like basically you acting brand new. I'm acting brand new. When I start acting brand new, please.
Yeah, it's like why though? It's like why? Why? You cheated on me with her, but what? Am I less valued than her? Now you got with her and she's different.
No, you wasn't. I was less value, right?
Uh huh.
Because I didn't understand, but I learned better, right? And now that I know better, I have to do better. But I can't change it up with you because you always gonna remember how I lied to you. And like that little scar is with you because I lied, I cheated. You know what I'm saying? That's why cheating is really wrong because it's like I lied, I cheated. You ain't gonna never. You might deal with it, but you're never gonna just let it completely go.
No.
So if I learn my lesson with the next one, I just make sure I don't do it. You know.
Yeah, you're right about that. You definitely right about that.
So
Hmm.
can I say that over just to make sure I understand? So you saying that you say you got better, so your value increased, and so since you were better, you chose to do better with
Um.
someone else because you couldn't really change the things that happened with the previous.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it. You know, I did come on lightheartedly with it. Because either way it's wrong, but I'm really coming at it from the angle of if the last relationship is really over with, you know what I'm saying? All it's gonna do is be because I messed up, I damaged it. So it's either I sit right here and like have to like me and you like not live a great life because you know
Because of the damage behind it of not being honest and
Because you know a woman ain't gonna let nothing go. We not gonna let nothing go. We say we do, but the moment an argument come up, boy, we gonna start bringing it up. What you did? Oh, you cheated on me. You slept with such and such, and I forgave
oh
you.
I couldn't hear
So
nothing y'all was saying.
I
Sorry.
said that what he meant by that is he don't want to just sit in that relationship because he knows that that woman gonna she gonna say, okay, I forgive you. I'm gonna let it go. But the moment he mess up or do anything again, she's gonna bring it up. She's gonna let him have it. She's gonna say, "Oh, you did this. You remember you cheated on me and I forgave you, and you did this to me, and now you want to sit up here and think I'm supposed to just be nice to you?" And she's gonna keep bringing it up. It ain't gonna never stop.
It ain't gonna
Never.
never stop. So somebody have to be rational in the situation and be fair because it's a possibility if I leave, like right now, at the first sign of me doing wrong, if I know you can't get over it, like if I know I really messed up, it's better for me to like take it to the chin and move around. So it gives you a opportunity to heal and possibly get what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're thinking correctly, but a lot of times both people be hypnotized by love, like a dude to be so far in love to the point where his feelings is getting in the way from him, like kind of trying to help the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm.
trying to figure out a solution. Because sometimes I'm telling you, it's never going to go away in a lot of cases because it's not the fact that you really cheated. It's because you lied and you was a coward and you couldn't just tell the truth. Like you're trying to protect my emotions. Like that is low key sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Like don't try to
Mhm.
protect my emotions. I'm good. You just keep it real. You said you're real. I thought you was real. All right, be real.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Right,
agree.
which is what I think we were saying earlier. Like, we need to know that cheating is when you're being dishonest about
Yep.
it. It's not really the sex part, it's the part that you weren't honest about what you were doing.
Yep.
And so
Cause
I do think that it would improve if men were honest with women and let them have the options. Because I think a lot of times a woman is not going to walk away. Because what you going to do? Start off fresh with another man that might cheat?
Right. Right. So we take our chances and we
I
deal. And
mean, if they being honest, if they're going to be honest about it. I
yeah.
wouldn't take my, like what Brandon said, I wouldn't want to take no chance with someone who wasn't honest about it because now I'm going to be bringing it up. Even if I might have forgiven them, I didn't forget. And the relationship isn't going to be the same.
yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and
Uh,
it's just look at the word cheat. Like me ain't got to think about the word cheat. Cheat cheating is never good, no matter in what context it's being used in. So I just want to end out with that.
yes, because we got the definition up here: act dishonestly or unfairly in order to
Hmm.
gain an advantage. And so,
Yep.
yeah, we don't. So I definitely agree with you on that. Could you give any insight on why men can't handle what they put women through
Oh yeah, because
when it's done to
hey,
them?
hey, yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. We are we're when it comes to our women, everybody know if a dude don't have a soft spot at all in the world, right? He cannot have a soft spot for nothing, but his woman, he can have a soft spot for his woman. You feel what I'm saying? Like every real man, they gonna have a spot where they wanna protect you, right? Like you theirs. Like you gotta be like my possession damn near, like for me to feel that way about you, right?
Mhm.
So then to imagine another person doing something with you like sexual, oh yeah, damage you. You be like, damn, I thought you was an angel. Damn, I thought you was man, I thought you was perfect. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like I never thought you would do this. Oh my God, you are a horrible being. You are a horrible being. Like you really trying to hurt me right now. So I can't take it. I can't take it. It's put me to too much stress. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we start to have sex, I'm just looking at you like, man, don't make that stupid face. That you made that face for him. You hear me? Stop playing. You know, we go through a lot of trauma and we just can't take it. You know, y'all emotions are built different from ours. Y'all can handle
Oh
stuff.
my God.
We can't.
When we were talking about it earlier, I said that men also can't take it because one, they're logical, or they think with logic, so they like thinking about the way I feel right now, and I'm not gonna wanna ever feel like this again.
Yeah.
So they don't even deal with it. And I think I also said that men don't have the same emotional support that women do. So a woman get cheated on, she can go talk about it with her friend, sister, and stuff like that, and they're going to give her that emotional support, whether they telling her to move on, whether they telling her to stay, with whatever advice they give. Where men, they not really running to people and don't have that emotional support. They gonna say like, and if they do go to someone, they gonna be like, you better toughen up and do something about it. Do you agree with that? Tabika said that she do think that men have the lot of emotional support, and they go to they women, their moms, their female cousins. They do
Sisters,
have sisters. She said
aunts,
they
whoever
do
they
have.
close to.
What do you think?
Uh, I'm gonna say, okay, when it comes to cheating, right? When it comes to cheating, no, they men don't really talk to hardly anybody. If a man talking to somebody about his girl cheating, it's mainly in the context of, man, you know, a girl cheated on me again, man. She a hoe. It's mainly like that, right? Because that's what they do. They talk about it, but for most men, bro, a man don't want to tell nobody that his
I
girl
do.
cheated on him. You know, now
Well,
if it turns to other things where like it kind of gets out a little bit, you might talk to the people who you talk to, who you deal with, like your cousin. Yo, it might be the, you know, you got one, two people that you might tell stuff to, like this your person, right? Who you talk to. So yeah, but that's once like the relationship kind of start to make a turn for the worse. But as soon as the dude find out that his girl cheated, he ain't just
Yeah,
running and
he
telling. It's embarrassing almost.
well, I know some men that a couple of people's, I ain't gonna name dropping her, but I know some family members that, boy, they be ready to jump in the water.
They be what?
They be ready to jump in the water.
Oh my God. Hey, see the thing is, and I was joking earlier, right? It was a true joke. You know, every joke come from a true place.
Yeah.
Um, it was a true joke, but don't be that hysterical, fellas. The thing is, you gotta be like, you know how a cop always say, "Oh my God, I was in fear of my life," so that they can kind of, get some lenience with the law if they was in fear
uh-huh.
of their life. So the dudes gotta kind of be in fear of their life, or bring out the white woman tears. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, this is horrible. I cannot imagine, and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't supposed to be really falling out, slobbing, and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? You
My
looking
dad
pitiful then,
my daddy did it.
huh?
My daddy
Hey, but hey, he was a bad man back in the day. You hear me?
yeah, he jumped on
Um,
that I know when my mama cheated on him. I bet you that.
Hey, up in Louisiana. Hey, he was a bad man. I'm talking about he's a bad man. You hear me? So it was just taking all of him, everything in him, to not go lay something down. He,
He
he,
said, "Let
he
me
was a
jump on
bad.
this car."
Hey,
Oh
he was a bad
yes.
man. You hear me?
Oh man, that's it's funny. Men's break down and be emotional wreck when it happens to them, but they can do it all the time. But I seen it. I knew my dad used to always try to, try to sneak out on my mama. And then the moment my mama did it, it was it was next level. I never seen him act like that before. So it was so
Yeah.
amazing to me that a man. That's what I knew then, that men's really are emotional
Hey, we
and
got
they can't
emotions.
handle it like we can. They cannot. They will flip their top back like badly. Like
Hey, if you say this yours, my bad. I just gotta say, if you tell anybody, if a man tells somebody this mine right here, that's why like you will see a lot of dudes when they dating, they won't really say like my anything. You know what I'm saying? And they won't really let you say my anything because you don't belong to me. That's like a marriage, right?
yeah,
Now, when a relationship grows to a marriage point, and it's like when I say this mine, I mean like it's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about it like she an object, but look, that means I don't want no, can't nobody touch her. And it's like
Mhm.
if you do it, you playing with me. And it's like I ain't I'm more I ain't gonna go outright. You know what I'm saying? I just respond accordingly. But
I, some men to say they'll kill you. They,
yeah,
they just say they kill you.
That's our emotional intelligence, man.
It be so they freak out. They be like, if you cheat on me, I kill you, and you be like, what?
but that be the ones just trying to they trying to scare you not to. They probably they just don't want you to do it. They just trying like I'm so serious. Please don't call my bluff. So don't call they bluff because they just might. You got a 50-50 chance. They just might or they might not. But please don't call they bluff. You know what I'm saying? Do not cheat on that man. If that man tell you cheat on me, I'm gonna kill you. Hey, do not cheat on that man. Please,
Yeah.
I do not want you playing with your life like that. Show me you suicidal.
Oh
Oh,
Straight up.
okay.
Hey, say you suicidal
Okay.
without saying it. You know what I'm saying?
my! I'm so sad. Men get so they funny. They say the darndest things, and I never understood it. Like they say like. I swear, like I would, I do this, that, and you be like, why you say that? You be so nervous. You be so nervous. You just be
Can
trying to
I
get it
ask
out of
y'all
something.
something?
Yeah.
Why do you think? Okay, so if a man cheat on a woman, some women will try to cheat, for payback.
They do.
Why do you think women consider cheating payback?
And it's not. You really lowering your standards when you try to pay him back because he's still gonna cheat. And he gonna judge you and you're not gonna get the same respect from him. So the best thing to do is boss up. I think when a man cheat on you, you leave him and you boss up. That's it. Cause cheating back never settles anything except for that man gonna look at you now like, man, I ain't. A man looks down on you when you cheat. They look
Mhm.
down on you.
Uh,
They
they
don't
don't
want
look
to be.
down on you. No, they don't.
Yeah, they
We
do.
don't look down on you. You just
Mm.
shocked us. We're shocked and appalled. You know what I'm saying? We don't look. We ain't looking down on you. We like, oh my god, like you really out here
You don't think
trying
it's
to be like me.
looking down, like as far as like, wow, I didn't believe she would do this. I didn't think she was capable of doing this. You
Man,
don't you don't think that's looking down?
Yeah, it can be. See, I wouldn't. Okay, looking down, right, would have to be because you step down. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying like I'm just looking at you like wow, you really went there. Like you really came out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You came out to the street. You really did. Now I'm just looking at you at where you at. You know what I'm saying? You in the streets. Like, dang, you could got hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you
OMG.
supposed to be sitting beautiful, lovely, can't nobody touch you. You know, you supposed to be like, yeah, hey, nah, can't nobody have access to me. You know, I'm too much his for that. You know what I'm saying? This only for him. You can't touch me. Like you came outside, let somebody touch you.
And then you gave access to another man. So you and like that's probably entertainment for him. So is it like really payback? Cause you just entertaining, you just been entertainment for another man at this point.
And he gonna leave you for real now though. Like he literally gonna leave you. Like a man don't ain't gonna forgive you. I'm telling you, a man is not forgiven. A man is not forgiven like a woman is. A woman can forgive a man for cheating, but a man cannot forgive a woman for cheating.
Nope.
He's gonna look like it, like you are damaged goods. You've been touched on now by another man. I ain't never thought that now they ain't gonna want to touch you the way they used to touch you. They ain't gonna want to love you the way they used to love you. So it's better to say walk away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I can't even protect you because it's like now if I try to protect, just say if I'm out and I run into some people and they try to put me up on game, you know what I'm saying? Whether they trying to be messy with it or not, who knows? But hey, bro, I want to holler at you. I know that's your girl, man. They said my homie. I don't know how true you like. I can't protect you because I ain't like that. I gotta be like, yeah, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. What can I? Am I supposed to I protect you? It's not a lie,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So it's like when it comes to protecting you, it's like I no longer can because you ran outside of my boundary line. I can't. You did that. Did nobody pull you out there?
Right. But see, that's vice versa to a woman. A woman defense mechanism against another woman telling them that they man cheated on them. A woman don't like to hear that. So we gonna go full throttle in with defense mode for our man.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm.
regardless
We
if
ain't the
he
same.
cheated or not, we don't want to be embarrassed or we don't like to be humiliated. So we finna get into the defense mechanism and look like a dummy because we taking up for a man that really did cheat with this woman versus a man taking up for us. They hear something like that, and if it is true or not, they finna cut up. Not on the man's or not going against what the man said about his lady, but he gonna come home and cut up on his lady real bad.
Yeah,
You know,
because the
so
lady he couldn't get no access to that lady without her giving it. So I probably would cut up on her too.
yeah, but why a man can give
Yeah,
access to another woman touching him with something a woman feel like belong to that's mine. I feel the
but
same way. That's
see,
that's mine. I put if you have, for instance,
but that's
if
you
you
trying to be
have
like a big bad
foreplay,
man though.
you have foreplay. I gotta come home and think that another woman, he didn't enter another woman, and then I gotta put that up here. Now I gotta put it in somewhere sacred on me in my private areas and my we make love. Now I don't want to make love no more because now I think that this woman that did everything to you that I'm doing. And sometimes we feel ooey too. So
Mm-hmm.
why do we
Yeah, but
have to
y'all better than us. I
accept it?
told you. Y'all
I'm just
don't.
saying.
Y'all can choose. Y'all can choose. Y'all can be just like us. I'm telling you. If you want to be just like us, be like us. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Is that good
make the decisions
advice?
that we make. If huh?
Is that good advice? Or is that a
No,
setup?
I'm just telling what she want to hear. I'm just telling what she want to hear.
No, I don't want to be. No, listen, I don't want to be like a
No,
man.
I'm just playing.
I'm just asking questions like, why is the men's so judgmental and so hard on a woman than women's are with men's? I'm not saying that it's okay because no, I hold my crown on my head very highly. I would never be like a man. Now, when I was younger, I tried things and I did things that now I wish I haven't, but it's too late to change it. I mean, go back and change it, but I'm moving forward. So
Yeah.
what I mean by what I'm saying is Why tear down a woman when they could be going through things that they never was taught at home, or they could be going through things that they looking for? Why tear her down if she don't know no better? Because the world makes mistakes. We all are human. We make mistakes. So why judge us harder than you would a man if he do it? That's what I'm saying.
O-
It ain't. It's just being
Okay,
humans. Period. Is making mistakes.
so let me answer that real quick for you, right? Um, the thing, this the thing. We're not the ones who judge you, right? We're not the ones. Other women judge you. That that hierarchy, that was like, that's something that women up here, women taught women. Hey, move like this, walk like a lady. Don't fart in front of your man. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Never. Always stop eating before your man get done. Women taught women that. So when you moved outside of that, women told you what you were. Men, men will deal with you. And now when you come dealing with a man who kind of, it ain't that ain't he ain't got nothing to do with you. Now you might hear the truth. If you ask why won't you deal with me and this person don't want to deal with you, he might be like, hey, it ain't, you got too much going on for me. And you can be like, hey, but you had this. It don't matter. That's what I chose, right? Now you can go over there where they like you at, where they deal with you at. You know what I'm saying? And that not it's not no diss, or it's not putting a woman down. It's just that it is it's a difference. It's a double standards when it comes to men and women. It's a difference. You you get the, I mean, it's somebody over there possibly, but it just, you can't, it ain't over here though. You know what I'm saying? That's not putting a woman down, I don't think.
Yeah, but like I just look at it as if God forgive us no matter what you are, woman or man. So I feel like if we all make mistakes, we should be forgiven regardless of what you are. You could be a man, you could be a woman. If a woman cheats, she should be forgiven. If a man
But
cheat, he should be forgiven. So if y'all forgive each other, it's okay. But why do a
we
man
forgive you.
don't?
We
No, a man
look,
break
we
up with
forgive
you
you.
if you cheat.
Exactly. We don't have to stay with you. We forgive you. We go to God and be like, hey, God, I forgive that woman. I do not want this sitting on my heart. I want to forgive her. She hurt me deeply, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you please take these images out my mind, God? Rid my mind of these images, because I'm seeing crazy stuff and I don't know how to feel right now, Lord. But I know you said give everything to you. Like the battle is yours to fight, right? Here, I'm handing it over to you. I forgive her. I want to be done with this madness. Now, we forgave you. We don't have to tell you anything because we done. We're done. But we forgave you though. You can be forgiven. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as you play it nice, you keep it nice. Don't get so salty and try to tarnish who I am, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
then that's when you kind of get responses, and hey, I can choose to respond if I want to. I can choose to ignore you. Just don't get nasty. Accept it, because it's my right to do it. It's your right to do it too.
Right. Which I said earlier, we can change that. Like why can men do this and we'll forgive them, but then when we do it they won't. Then let's do the same. Like,
Hmm.
let's do the same. Especially if it's coming in the form of dishonesty. Now, like I
Yep.
said, that's, when it's cheating, I would say do the same. But I'm not saying just walk away every time something happens if you have a strong relationship and just little things are happening. But yes, if it's something as far as being dishonest, I don't think we should be like, why are we so forgiving? But a man could go through it and they gonna leave you just like that. It's because they're thinking with logic. They don't want to feel that way again. They not gonna deal with that. And I do think that we need to be more like that as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you do it, a dude, if you do that, if you don't tolerate it, I guarantee after a while, like if you literally forgive that man, move along and whatnot, even if you look at like, I'm gonna show you because you my husband, you might be like, no, I'm gonna leave you for real, but you still mine. Hopefully you start see things the right way, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
if you got a real man who it really was like his dishonesty, right? He didn't keep it real. So when as he grows, I would hope that I would want for him to understand that, hey, bro, you lied, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lied, forgive yourself, go apologize. If you want that woman, go be with that woman. Go get your woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, go short, and you might have to go over and beyond, bro. But if that's what you want, you got to do that. You know, if you messed up and that's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't sit in your pride talking about some men. Oh, men cheat. No, no, no. Liars cheat.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
You're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, definitely.
That was a good one right there. Liars
Mm-hmm.
cheats.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over a lot of different topics today. Like I said, I'm glad Mika you was transparent about some things. Sometimes hearing different perspectives and different stories and things like that, just gives you a different outview on things, and just to know that everyone's situation is not the same. So definitely thank you for being transparent with that. I hope you also listen to some of the words that was given, that some of the
Yeah.
comments that were given, some of the things my mother said, and just remember to stay positive. And as long as you was blessed to wake up and see the next day, you have another chance to do whatever it is that you want to do, or to make whatever it is happen that you want to make happen. um and I don't think that we went over all the topics that that you want to talk about, but I do think that we hit a few, and I hope that we didn't, not only just discuss them, but kind of got a little bit better understanding um of why sometimes things work the way they work, or how they turn out the way, or why they turn out the way that they turn out. And so that means that we definitely have to be mindful, men and women, the way we move from the very beginning to the very end.
Yes. Yes. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I thanks for all the kind words that was given to me tonight. And I look at things, from a lot of different angles now, because it was a lot of good advice. And your mom, she was awesome. She had me in tears. Yeah, so
Oh,
beautiful soul, beautiful soul. And I appreciate that. And thanks for Breezy coming on at the end, and brightening up my day back again and making me laugh.
I know, right?
And I thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. We actually went to what, almost 3 hours.
3 hours.
So yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, Breezy. Breezy, when you going live again? You muted. Did you step away, or did you mute yourself on purpose? Either way, he probably muted himself. He probably doing something. But yes,
I
thank
did.
you.
I did. I'm being a father right now. I appreciate y'all. Uh, uh, I enjoyed the conversation. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, and it's gonna be on. I could have protected you. While and it's gonna be covering how, like, the horrible things of, like, grape get done, and the man of the family, like, he might be a young boy, but he's never told. But he feel like I could have protected you, but instead he gets a bad relationship with that person, and he don't understand. If
Okay.
that made sense.
Okay,
But
that definitely sounds like it's going to be a good topic. I'm gonna definitely make sure I join you.
Invite me so I can
yeah,
join.
yeah, for sure, I got you. I'm gonna definitely pull you up too.
Okay.
I enjoyed y'all. I definitely did. I enjoyed y'all in the whole conversation.
Okay.
Oh, thank you guys for tuning in. And I am running out of here because this baby has been a baby. And I will see you guys on the next episode.
All right.
All right, love y'all.
Have a nice night.
All right. Bye bye.
Girl, you done made me sit up now.
Speechless. Why you speechless?
I just said because it's like I'm like with a celebrity couple right now. Like,
Oh my God. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.